afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Plow Field for a battle of the two first-place division leaders. From the south, it's Glassboro at 6-1, leading their division, and from the north, it's William Patterson, leading their division with a 4-1 record. They'll be squaring off today in a doubleheader brought to you live right here from WGLS-FM. I'm Tad Kozneski, along with Alan
Cobb. Yes.
And we're looking for a very close game today in both games of this doubleheader. Pitching today for the Profs in the opening game is Jeff Lutner. Lutner is 4-0 on the year. He has beaten Rutgers Camden, and he was scheduled yesterday to pitch against Trenton State, I'm told. But for the most part, Lutner hasn't been tested against a real outstanding ball club like this Montclair team.
Yes, Tad, and I think this is going to be his big test. The first time in this year, really, that he's gotten the true big test. And I think that he has a very good chance against the Pioneers from William Patterson. Right now, the Profs, along with Jeff Lutner, are all ready, and they are just giving their 3 cheers.
All right, well, Lutner's given up 14 runs, 11 of them earned, and an ERA of 3.45. He's given up 27 hits, and he's thrown an average of a total of 457 pitches. Jeff's problem is that he tends to get a little wild. He has trouble controlling his pitches. He can throw. His big pitch is the fastball. And if he can just stay in front of the batters, it should be a good day for Glassboro, as Glassboro takes the field behind Lutner.
Yes, I agree. Now, one problem that you find in college baseball a lot is that these players who haven't really been playing for long enough, unlike the pros, of course, do tend to be a little bit unprofessional in that respect. They do throw a little bit more wild. And it's not a case of unskill. I think it's more of a case of just the training and the practice that they have to get in order to become really, truly great pitchers.
Now, usually the fast ones are the ones that have trouble getting it over the plate, but they're the ones that get you the wins for the most part. All right, we'll set the defense behind Lutner. Behind the plate today will be catcher Seb Ballesteri. At first base will be Darren Comagee. Second, Fred Bianculli. The shortstop, Scott Ty. The third baseman's Brian Giampetti. The left fielder is Michael York. Center fielder Keith Lee, and in right field, Jamie Fazio.
Yes, and the starting lineup for the William Patterson Pioneers, they're going to be starting with their shortstop, Glenn Merendino, that's number 2, and center fielder Bruce Dostel will be second up to bat. Tony Listro from the left field. He is their number 5, he's third, and cleaning up is number 14, Mike Milmo from right field.
All right, that's the first 4, and we'll give you stats for them when they come up to the plate. Kind of a windy day, not as windy as it's been in past here. Very sunny, a great day to be out here for a doubleheader. Why don't you come down and pay us a visit down here. Bring your radio along, all the action right here on WGLS-FM.
Yes, truly a lot better weather than we've had in the past, and the weather is supposed to hold for the rest of the day. Beautiful temperatures. It's supposed to get even higher. Right now, the temperature is around 68 degrees, and it's supposed to be in the mid to upper 70s, and if we're lucky, we're really going to have a nice hot day, just a perfect baseball day.
All right, leading off for the Pioneers, it's going to be Glenn Merendino.
Yes, Glenn Merendino has hit 19 hits. He has a .292 average, hit 1 home run, and RBI, driven in 9 RBIs.
All right, Lutner's ready for the first pitch here. The battle of the 2 first-place teams from the north and the south. Here's Lutner's first pitch of the ball game. Fastball inside for a ball 1. Lutner's a big right-hander. Here's his windup for the next pitch. Fastball outside for a ball. It's 2-0. 2-0, the count. The leadoff batter, Glenn Merendino here. We're in the top of the first inning from Plow Field. Here's Lutner's windup and the pitch. Ball called strike, 2-1. As we said, Lutner already starting out in a little trouble here. Having trouble, he's just started though. Here's Lutner's windup in the 2-1 pitch. Fastball just missing high, 3-1, close pitch.
Starting off behind like that is not good. Lutner's got to get a couple of strikes in the first pitch.
All right, here's Lutner's 3-1 pitch. Fastball down the middle, looked on for a strike. Full count to Glenn Merendino, the leadoff batter for the William Patterson Pioneers.
Second batter, like I said, is Bruce Dostell.
The pitch, grounded to second baseman Fred Bianculli. He gloves, and it goes through his legs as he bobbled. He went to pick the ball up. He gloved it. He went to pick it up to throw it, and it bobbled out of his hands. So that'll be an error on second baseman Fred Bianculli, and not a good way to start off the ball game.
Yes, I'm afraid he kind of let the ball get behind him. He wasn't really with it, and it went right through his legs. Now, number 6, Bruce Dostell is up. He has 28 hits, has a .400 average, 7 homers, and 16 RBIs.
Big left-handed batter. So Prof starting out on a bad note already. The error by Bianculli, and Merendino's on first with nobody out. Here's Lettner from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Curveball inside for a ball. Ball 1. Let me see. How many stolen bases does Merendino have here?
I don't think I have that here.
No, he doesn't. He has 1. He does have 1.
Okay, I see.
All right, here's Lettner's stretch, and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside for a ball. It's 2-0 as the wind begins to kick up here from Prof Field.
The temperature is supposed to be beautiful today. I didn't say anything about the wind.
Merendino's on first. He's on the error by Bianculli. 2-0 the count to Dostell. Here's Lettner's stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Fastball high and inside for ball. 3-0. Lettner again flirting with his wildness here. Getting behind both batters early. So Lettner from the stretch. Here's the 3-0 pitch. He goes back to first base. Back in time is Merendino.
He plays this little game of catch with the Prof first baseman, Darren Comagese.
All right, Lettner from the stretch again. Here's his 3-0 pitch. Fastball called strike. 3-1. Fastball right down the middle. Good pitch.
I think he's starting to get his bead on the game now. And he's starting to really put the balls in there in the pocket a little better now.
Lettner with the stretch. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Runner going. Foul back to the screen. Merendino was on his way to second base. Would have been a close play. Didn't get an outstanding jump. But Dostell followed it back to the screen for a full count. They had a hit and run on that one. It was a good call, I guess you could say. A good hit and run situation with the 3-1 count.
Yeah, I think they set that up okay.
All right, it's full count now. Here's Lettner from the stretch. Runner holds the pitch. Fastball just missing inside. Ball 4. Dostell draws a base on balls.
So you have a man on first and second here at Prof Field in the top of the first inning, and next man up is number 5, Tony. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. We have number 24 here.
Probably a late entry.
Late entry.
No, that's Tony Listo. He just changed his. They just have the number changed around there.
Okay, Tony Listro. He has an average of .279, 17 hits for 2 home runs and 15 RBIs.
First pitch to him was high and inside with the fastball for a ball. Ball 1 to Tony Listo. You can hear Coach Briglia getting on the umpire. A lot of borderline calls not going Glassboro's way. Next pitch is high. That was definitely high for ball. 2-0. First inning problems for Jeff Lettner. First and second with nobody out. Lettner behind the batter. 2-0. Here's the stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle for a called strike. It's 2-1.
There's quite a couple of worries there on first and second base. The 2 runners are definitely taking nice, not big leads, not huge leads. They're taking leads and they're giving him cause to look around.
Here's Lettner's stretch. Looks down second base. A 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Looking for an appeal. I don't think he went around. And it's going to be 3-1 to count to Tony Listo. Walk here would load the bases for the cleanup batter, Mike Milby.
I got to disagree with you. I thought that was enough around. I thought that was a strike.
All right, nonetheless, it's 3-1. First and second, nobody out here in the top of the first. Lettner from the stretch. Here's his 3-1 offering. Fastball lined into left center field on a loop. Coming under his left fielder, Michael Urick, fights the sun, makes the play for the first out of the inning. Semi-line drive out the left center field. Michael York camped under for a few seconds and made the easy play.
Okay, so that's one out here in the top of the first inning. Next man on base, number 14, Mike Milmo, right fielder. And Mike Milmo here, the cleanup batter, is, okay, he has 23 hits for a .311 average. And what was it?
First pitch was a ball outside on the curve. Did he have any home runs on the
Yeah, he has 5 home runs, as a matter of fact. RBIs are 19. He leads the team in RBIs.
Okay. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Lutner. Curveball swung on and missed, 1-1.
Also leads the William Patterson team in home runs.
All right, so it's a 1-1 to count to Mike Milmo.
Another big man. You know, the entire William Patterson team is made up of very big guys. All seem to be almost above 6 feet. I'll give you a little stats on that later.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball on the first base line, but foul. 1-2, the first batter that Lutner has been ahead in this top of the first inning. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Marino on second, he reached base on an error. Dostal on first, he walked. At the plate is Mike Milmo with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Curveball right back at us. Had to duck on that one. The count remains 1-2.
Yes, Mike Milmo here is from Clifton, New Jersey. He's 6'2", 180 pounds.
All right, it's 1-2 to him. Base hit here brings in a run. Lutner from the stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball right back at us again and over our heads. Out to get us, 1-2.
Yes, we are usually in the blind spot here. This is the spot where most of those foul backs hit, just near us.
And we're looking right down the left field line. We're in direct line with it at behind home plate. All right, Lutner now with the stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball outside. Nice block by Seb Ballesteri, the catcher for the Profs. Profs, I believe, have new uniforms right now. I'm not sure though. I don't think the uniforms before had their names on the back. They have white pants with dark uniforms with their names on the back. If they did, I can't recall them having their names on the back before.
They look cleaner anyway than they have.
Here's the stretch in the pitch. Foul back to the screen again. Count still remains 1-2. Yes,
more balls that way.
Yeah, Lutner has thrown a lot of pitches here in the first inning. In fact, he leads the team in total pitches. There's a stretch by Lutner and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball foul back at the screen again. Hello there. Count still remains at 1-2 to Mike Milmo.
Coming up after Milmo, Jeff Kirk, number 11. He's the first baseman, is ready and standing by.
Count still at 1-2. Here's Lutner's stretch and the pitch. Curveball just missing outside. Tried to get the batter to lean after, but he wouldn't. 2-2.
The officials seem to disagree with us. The sign out in the back is 3-2, but I think we can keep a good track here.
We have time called by the umpires. Lutner was just about ready to pitch that one. I don't know how the umpire can give time. And there's the coach Brigley on him again.
Miss Brigley was arguing that somebody, I believe that the William Patterson coach or somebody in William Patterson called time just during the windup.
The batter called time just as Lutner was about to deliver. You're really not supposed to call time in that situation, allowed to give time, but it was allowed. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Lutner. Fastball fouled back again to the screen. 2-2.
Hey, right on, 1-4, boy.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the cleanup man, Mike Milmo, for the William Patterson Pioneers. We're here in the first inning. No score.
Looks like Milmo's waiting for just the right throw.
He's fighting off Lutner. Here's Lutner stretching the 2-2 pitch. Fastball high and outside for ball, and we were wrong on that one. That was ball 4. somewhere along the line I missed the ball. That loads the bases. Lutner's second walk of the inning.
And brings up Jeff Kurtz, number 11, first baseman, the fifth man up. And he has 17 hits for a 2.78 average. Home runs, he has 2 of those, and 14 RBIs. After Kurtz comes up Frank Barker, the third baseman.
All right, Kurtz is a left-handed batter trying to make some contact here with the bases loaded and 1 down. Lutner going from the stretch. Here's his first pitch. Curveball high and inside for a ball, ball 1.
And all the William Patterson Pioneers are taking fairly big leads out there.
The infield is in. The corners are in, looking for a home to first double play. The next pitch is lined into center field. Over center fielder's head, Keith Lee bounces one hop off the wall. Morendo scores. Dostal rounds third. He's heading for the plate. He's going to score. Mike Milmo comes to the plate. He scores from first base, and Jeff Kurtz is credited with a double.
And he sits there on second base, very happy for sending in a load of Pioneers, 3 of them for that matter.
So a 3-run double for Jeff Kurtz, the first baseman for William Patterson. He lined it a mile, a line drive to dead center field, bounced off the warning track on 1 bounce. Keith Lee, the center fielder, had no chance at it at all.
It's right under the 400 sign, that matter. Right up now is number 20, Frank Barker, third baseman, and he is the 6th man up. He has 25 hits for a 3.73 average, 2 homers, and 23 RBIs.
Still 1 out here.
I'm correcting myself here. He leads the team in RBIs, not Mike Milmo.
Here's Lutner stretching the pitch. Curveball high and outside for a ball.
That's a great way to start off the game for the William Patterson Pioneers. This is the kind of thing that's going to make them keep on rolling, I'm afraid, for the props.
As the props get some action going in the bullpen, 2 pitchers out there. We have 2 right-handers going. We can't quite pick up the numbers from here. Ball 1 to Frank Barker. Here's the stretch by Lutner in the pitch. Grounded up the middle to Fred Bianculli. He gloves, throws the first just in time to get Barker for the second out of the inning. But Jeff Kurtz moves on to third base,
Okay, and coming up to bat is John Wilson. He's a designated hitter, and he has 15 hits for a 3.33 average, and hasn't had any homers yet, but he has drove in 7 RBIs. And he calls time while he takes a couple of practice swings.
3-0 here in the top of the first. The props quickly behind. 2-run double by Jeff Kurtz. 3-run double by Jeff Kurtz. Here's Lutner's first pitch. Fastball for a called strike.
That's good because there are 2 outs so far, 1 strike, and the props want to get this inning over and done with and get on with the game.
Lutner's next pitch. Curveball, beautiful pitch, strike 2.
That's the way to pitch.
That is the best pitch we've seen from Jeff Lutner today.
Yeah, that one was a very clear curve.
Lutner's clearly aggravated from the windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball, ball 1.
Very inside. He made John Wilson duck quite a bit. And as he gets up here for the 1-2 pitch.
Lutner from the windup again. Here's his pitch. Knuckleball outside for a ball.
He's trying the gamut of different throws that he has.
That was a knuckleball. It shocked me. 2-2. I'd look for the curve here. Here's Lutner from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Here's the curve, high and inside for a ball, 3-2.
Yes, as the wind picks up again, but the sun gets very, very boiling hot out here. My head is starting to hurt from the sun on that.
All right, John Wilson up there, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball, check swing, fouled off him in the box. Count remains full to John Wilson.
He hit that right into the ground just below his feet. Just next to his feet, that is. Full count, 2 outs.
Runner on third base is Jeff Kurtz. He doubled in 3 runs. Lutner's pitch. Fastball high and outside for a ball. Ball 4, and Wilson draws the 3rd walk of the inning.
And up is Carmine Romano, the catcher. Number 28, 8th in line. 21 hits, 382 average. He hasn't hit any home runs yet, but he has driven in 12 RBIs. And he is a huge, huge man. Number 28 here. He is 6'3", 215 pounds from Leona, New Jersey.
Big player. The 8th man to bat in the inning. for the William Patterson Pioneers.
If it weren't for the uniform, I think that was Frank Scaramuzzo, the big prof.
All right, he steps in. Lutner from the stretch. Runners on first and third. We'll have to see what Wilson wants to do here. Wilson holds the pitch. Fastball called strike.
That was very low, almost in the dirt.
Nonetheless, a called strike. Lutner again from the stretch. He looks over first base. Wilson holds the pitch. Fastball ground to shortstopman Scott Ty. He flips over to Bianculli for the third out of the inning, but William Patterson does score 3 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 men left on base. We got the bottom half of the first inning with William Patterson leading 3-0.
And we're back at Prop Field, 12:30, and as the props come up to bat, the William Patterson Pioneers had a beautiful first half of the first inning, and how many times they hit in 3 runs on, I believe that was Jeff Kurtz's 3-run double. And the props start off with Fred Bianculli is going to be the first man up on base. Second is going to be Mike York. Third is Al Ciccatello, and fourth is Darren Comagese.
Okay, pitching for William Patterson today is Jim Daly. He's 4-0 on the year with an ERA of 4.50, has 11 strikeouts, no walks, 10 earned runs, and a total of 13 runs given up. He's given up 24 hits in 20 innings pitched. That's Jim Daly for William Patterson pitching today.
Okay, and as the props come up to bat, this is, as I said, Bianculli. He has hit 35 hits, 12 RBIs, an average of 438, and he's driven in 1 home run. And as he takes his practice swings, we're getting ready here on the Voice of Gloucester County. I'm Alan Cobb, along with Tad Kosneski doing the play-by-play. Norm Donahue is back at the station doing a very good job of engineering as we get into the bottom of the first inning. Take it away, Tad. Let's hear about the play-by-play.
Okay, once again, the first game of the doubleheader will go 9. The second game will go 7. So Daly on the mound from the windup, and here's his first pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball 1. Want to know the count, the leadoff batter, Fred Bianculli, trying to get things started here for the props. They're down 3. Next pitch to him is fastball missing low and outside, 2-0. Props talking up in the in the dugout. This is a big game for both teams. Here's Daly again from the windup. A 2-0 pitch is lined down the right field line, but it's going to go foul into the crowd. William Patterson leading the Northern Division with a 4-1 record. Montclair is in second with a 5-2 record. And our props are leading the Southern Division with a 6-1 record. And Trenton is in second with a 5-2 record. They are tied with Kane also with a 5-2 record.
Yes, however, for the overall state and this New Jersey conference, it's a very, very big conference with 5 teams in the National 20 standings. This game could pretty much decide who's going to be in the head, since the props have 6-1 and the Pioneers have 4-1. These 2 games, that is, could pretty much decide who is going to be ahead.
Bianculli, a fair ball down the right field line. He'll only get a single out of it. So Bianculli leads off things with a line drive single down the right field line. That's Bianculli leading it off with a hit for the props.
Okay, and next man up is Mike York, and he has 20 RBIs of 29 hits, 3.33 average, and 3 homers.
Okay, Daly from the stretch, the pitch. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 1-0. Props behind 3-0 here. We're in the bottom of the first inning from Prop Field. Bianculli on first base, he singled. Here's the stretch. Bianculli going, fastball taken inside for a ball. Bianculli safe at second, ball into center field. Bianculli to third. Here's the throw to third, and he is. And the
looked out. It looked out.
Yes, he is thrown out by the center fielder. Fine throw by the center fielder on that play. Bruce Dostal, he picked it up as the ball went over second base, fired at the third baseman Frank Barker, and unfortunately Bianculli is out.
And that puts up the third man.
And that's still, Michael York is still up.
Michael York's still up. I forgot that was a steal. An attempted steal, that is. Come on, kid. And now is the 2-0 pitch.
Line drive foul down the first base line. 2-1.
So I can see that the pitcher for the Pioneers, Jim Daly, is getting off to a lot better start, it seems, than did Jeff Lutner.
The 2-1 pitch, fastball outside and low for a ball, 3-1. That's just a tough break for the props there in this first inning. Good move. You got to throw a strike to get him out of third base, and the center fielder Bruce Dostal did. The 3-1 pitch is grounded foul down the third base line. 3-2.
Full count in the bottom of the first inning here at Prop Field.
1 down.
The Props' next game, by the way, is supposed to be on Monday. Yes, Monday, April 21st, and that's going to be at Trenton State, 3:15 p.m. The game was supposed to be played yesterday.
Call 4 outside as York takes a walk, and this is where it begins to hurt beyond Cooley's out there.
Al Ciccatello, number 40, is up, and Ciccatello has 28 hits for 22 RBIs, a .431 average, but he hasn't hit any home runs yet. But he is a constant hitter. He's always hitting something out there.
All right, Daly from the stretch. York goes, holds. First pitch is inside for ball 1. York had a fake on, looked like he was going and just stopped about quarter of the way down there. Props getting the cheering going. Here's the stretch by Daly, the pitch. Curveball swung back to the screen. 1-1.
After Al Ciccatello comes Darren Comegys, number 48, their first baseman. He's going to be the cleanup batter for today. As the 1-0 pitch, he takes his
it's 1-1.
Wind up 1-1.
Stretch and the pitch. Fastball in the dirt, blocked. 2 balls and 1 strike. Al Ciccatello. Trops trying to get something on the board here. They're down 3-0. We're in the bottom of the first inning of 9 here from Prop Field. York's on first. He walked. Here's the stretch and the 2-1 pitch. Curveball high and inside for ball, 3-1. This umpire appears to be a hitter's umpire with a very small strike zone thus far today. Back to first base. York back in safely.
York is playing with him a little bit, moving off the base, but not really enough to cause a big problem.
3-1 pitch lined into center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. So Ciccatello's single, and that puts runners on first and second with 1 out, and that'll bring the plate Darren Comegys.
It's Darren Comegys, first baseman, and he has 12 hits this season for 11 RBIs, a .261 average, and he's hit 1 home run. So he has hit 12 out of 12 times up the bat.
So runners at first and second. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning.
And Darren Comegys is also a very big man on the props. 6'4", 210 pounds, from Burlington, New Jersey.
Takes the first pitch inside on the curve for a ball. It's 1-0. Props trying to get something together here in the first. Down 3 runs. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball down the middle, taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Big Darren Comegys. He's looking for a big hit here. 1-1 to him with 1 down here in the first inning. Daly from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Curveball fouled into the prop dugout. 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Darren Comegys, first baseman for the props.
After Darren Comegys comes up Keith Lee, the center fielder.
1 and 2 to Comegys. Here's the stretch by Jim Daly in the pitch. Fastball grounded between third and short. It's going to go in for a base hit. Coming around third base is Michael York, and he's going to score a run. So give a single and an RBI to Darren Comegys, and the props are on the board. They now trail 3-1.
Up at bat now, Keith Lee, number 33 center fielder. And Lee has 17 hits for 8 RBIs, a .347 average. Hasn't driven in any home runs yet, though.
Chikatilo moves over to second base. We have runners in first and second base for Keith Lee. 3 hits thus far for the Profs, with 4 batters coming to the plate. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Bunted tried, no good. Taken for a ball.
Must say the Prof offense is doing a little bit better job than defense did in the beginning of the inning. Let's see if they can clean up that defense, though.
And that first inning, Fred Bianculli's error brought in 3. Well, it brought on 3 runs later in the inning. Here's the next pitch, fastball, called strike, 1-1, Keith Lee.
Yes, I believe that error set up the situation with bases loaded.
Yeah, he was the first batter of the game, got on an error, then the next man walked. And it got the rally started. That's all they needed, scoring 3. The 1-1 pitch, grounded to second baseman Claude Petroselli, goes to second for 1, and nice takeout slide there by Darren Comagese.
Yes, that was a beautiful throw, as a matter of fact, by Claude Petroselli. He caught the ball and threw in the same motion, as a matter of fact, without even taking a little wind-up to throw the ball. So excellent defensive play there, but it leaves the Profs with a man on first and third as Jamie Fazio, number 9, the right fielder, comes up to bat. Fazio has 12 hits in the season for 10 RBIs, a .273 average.
Chikatilo moves down to third base in the play. First and third. The first pitch to Fazio's inside for ball, 1-0.
Fazio's a little man on the Prof team, if he doesn't mind me saying that. He's a senior.
Next pitch is called strike.
5'9" in front of his hometown crowd. He's from the city of Glassboro.
1-1 the count till. Here's a stretch in the pitch. Curveball high and outside.
Runner going.
The throw is in, and he's in safely. So credit a stolen base to Keith Lee. He's on second base. And we have second and third with 2 outs.
2 outs. Jamie Fazio, number 9, is at bat. As Jim Daly, he takes the mound, but now the coach Abe Albies, I believe that is, of the William Patterson Pioneers, goes up to the mound there, and I don't know, there is a man in the bullpen, the William Patterson bullpen, and it looks like they're having a little bit of a problem here. They might take out Jim Daly a little bit early in the game.
Just discussing things out there, what the infield wants to do.
Okay.
So he runs at second and third with 2 outs for Jamie Fazio, with a 1-1 count to him. And Jim Daly's going to go for the windup here. Here's his windup and pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2, 1-2.
Fazio looked like he was trying to put that one out of here.
We do have a 2-2 count, I'm told by the umpire now. 2-2 the count to Jamie Fazio, second and third with 2 outs. The pitch to him, curveball high and outside for ball, 3-2. Brian Giampetti on deck for the Profs.
And Scott Ty in the hole.
3-2 the count to Jamie Fazio. Here's the windup by Daly in the pitch. Fastball high and outside, ball 4.
No, I don't think that's ball 4.
Well, the ref signaled one thing, now we have another thing. Now it's a full count, as he corrects himself. Full count now to Jamie Fazio. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, back to the screen, foul. The umpires must be playing games with me here. He signaled 2-2. But we are at a full count right now with 2 outs. Keith Lee on second, Al Chikatilo on third. First inning, Profs have 1 run in. They trail it 3-1.
Man on second and third, they're trying to send these men in.
Here's the windup in the pitch. Fastball high and outside, and now Fazio draws a walk.
Yes, and we have the same situation as the top of the inning. We have bases loaded as Ryan Giampetti comes up. Ryan is another big man, number 45. He has 15 hits for 13 RBIs, a .429 average. He's hit 1 home run. This is the kind of man you want up when you have bases loaded and you're trailing 3-1.
Profs looking for a big hit here at the bottom of the first. They trail it 3-1. Jim Daly on the mound with the bases loaded. His first pitch, fastball, grounded to second baseman Claude Petroselli. He gloves, throws to first base for the third out of the inning. But the Profs do score 1 run. There were 3 hits, there were no errors, and there were 3 men left on base. We got on the top of the second inning with the Profs trailing William Patterson 3-1.
Yes, we're back here at Prof Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski as we begin the top of the second inning, and the Profs are out in the field, and the William Patterson Pioneers are at bat, starting up with Carmine Romano, the catcher. He's number 28.
Excuse me, I hate to interrupt you, but it's Claude Petroselli going to be leading off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Second baseman, Claude Petroselli, number 29. And he has 18 hits for a .360 average and 13 RBIs. And doing the play-by-play, here's Tad Kosneski.
All right, Lutner from the windup. Here's his first pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball. 1-0 to Claude Petroselli. Lutner struggling again to find the plate in the first inning. Walked 3 men. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike, 1-1. Lutner ready to pitch again. Here's his windup and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, grounded to shortstop, Scott Ty. He gloves, throws over to Donald Comagese in plenty of time for the first out of the inning. Scored 6-3, and that'll bring up the top of the order, Glenn Merendino. He reached base on an error by Fred Bianculli, his first time up and scored.
Glenn Merendino, number 2, he's the shortstop there for the William Patterson Pioneers, and as he takes his practice swings, and
here's Lutner with the pitch, fastball, curveball as he changed it up. Caught a little too early there. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 1-out. Lutner looks in again. Here's the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball high and inside for ball, 2-0. 3-1 here in the top of the second inning. William Patterson scoring 3 runs in the first. The big blow is Jeff Kurtz's 3 RBI double. The base is loaded. Here's the next pitch. Fastball high and inside for ball, 3-0.
Lutner is not pitching very well at the beginning of this inning. 3-0, he is letting the pitches get ahead of him.
Here's his 3-0 pitch. Fastball for a called strike. 3-1.
Waiting for that. The Profs don't have anyone in the bullpen, though. They seem to be confident of Lutner's abilities.
Next pitch is a fastball for a called strike. Full count, coming back nicely here.
Very nice pitch there. That's the reason why they're so confident. Full count.
Here's Lutner with the full count pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball. Merendino draws a walk.
Coming up now, center fielder Bruce Dostell, number 6. For the Pioneers, as they got 1 man on first base.
Dostell, his first time up, walked and scored a run. And the runner on first base is leadoff batter Glenn Merendino. Lutner from the stretch. Here's his first pitch. Fastball high and outside for a ball, ball 1. Jeff still having his problems finding that plate here in the second inning. Lutner from the stretch. Here's the pitch, runner going. Fastball high and outside, thrown into center field, but a nice play on the backup made by Bianculli, the second baseman, backing up shortstop Scott Ty. So credit Merendino with a stolen base.
And that's the second time in this game that Seb Balistreri, the catcher for the Profs, has missed the throw and overthrown second base on a steal.
So 2-0 the count to Bruce Dostell, the center fielder. Here's his windup and stretching the pitch, fouled back and out of play. 2-1. Dostell's the man that made that fine play in the last inning on the overthrow by the catcher on the stolen base there. Caught by Dostell and threw out Bianculli at third. Big out in the inning. Lutner from the stretch in the pitch. Curveball. Called strike. 2-2. Looked a little high, but still called strike. Batter's a little upset with that.
Yeah, don't hold it on yourself.
Lutner with the stretch. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He steps back off. Lutner once again from the stretch. Here's his 2-2 offering. Curveball high and inside for ball. It's 3-2. Nice little hissing sound for you there. Courtesy of, well, here's the stretch by Lutner, and here's the 3-2 pitch. As a train comes by, popped up in the infield, called by third baseman Brian Giampetti. He waits, makes the play, and that's the second out of the inning.
This inning is going a little bit quick for the props. Base. Okay, William Patterson Pioneers still has a man on second base, though.
2 outs. Now to bring to the plate Tony Listo, who flied to left field his first time up.
Hate to correct you, that's Listro.
Listro, okay. Here's a stretch by Lutner, steps off base, looking down at second base.
Here we go.
First pitch is fastball inside for a ball, ball 1.
Balistreri had to take a little run around because the man on second base was off the base, and he thought he might be able to go and pick him off. Didn't happen.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball grounded down to first base. Darren Comegys fields and steps on the bag for the third out of the inning. There were no runs, no hits, there were no errors, and one man left on base. We are on the bottom of the second inning with our pros trailing William Patterson 3-1.
Alan Cobb, along with Tad Kozneski, back at prop field as we go into the bottom of the second inning, with the Pops trailing the William Patterson Pioneers by a score of 3-1.
3-1, that's correct. 3-1,
right.
Yes.
But the Props are up at bat, and they start off with
Scott Tye, the shortstop here at the bottom of the second inning.
8th in line with 12 hits for 5 RBIs and a 279 average.
First pitch is taken for a fastball for a called strike. Daly from the windup in the pitch. Fastball, strike 2 called. Tye isn't too happy with both those calls as he steps out of the box.
Props are talking it up in their dugout. That's the way to win games, is to keep the players happy. And
here's the 0-2 pitch, lined into right field. Right fielder Mike Milmo under it.
Blooper.
And he makes the easy play for the first out of the inning. And I'll bring out the 9th batter, catcher Seb Ballesteri.
Yes, Seb Ballesteri, number 2. And he has 15 hits for 16 RBIs, average of 238 in this past season.
First pitch to him. Fastball just missing high for a ball, ball 1. Here's the windup by Daly in the pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball again, 2-0. On deck, leadoff batter Fred Bianculli. Daly's 2-0 pitch. Strike called. 2-1. The windup and the pitch. Fouled back right at us. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to catcher Seb Ballesteri here in the bottom of the second inning with the Props trailing 3-1. There's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. That's the first strikeout for pitcher Jim Daly, and the second out. The second out of the inning.
And we get up to the leadoff batter for the Props, Fred Bianculli. He hit a single in the first inning.
Tried to steal second base. The ball was thrown into center field. He headed for third, and the center fielder threw him out for the first out of the inning. Tough way to start things off, but they're being aggressive. So he steps in 1 for 1 thus far in the day.
Yes, that's what the Props need, is to be aggressive in these games. Oh,
another foul back right over our heads here.
And another lucky fan over near the bunk's lawn.
strike the count. The leadoff batter, Fred Bianculli. The windup by Daly in the pitch. Line back right at him for a base hit. That's the second hit of the ball game for Bianculli with 2 outs. That'll bring the plate left fielder Mike York, who walked and scored his first time up.
Yes, and it brings Bianculli up to first base. And let's see if we can get another steal off him this inning. Maybe a successful one.
Daly gets a sign from the stretch with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Pitch out, nothing gone. Ball 1.
And the Pioneers are handling Bianculli very carefully. He takes small leads off, but they're keeping their eye on him.
Back to first base, Bianculli in safely.
On his feet, for that matter.
There's a stretch by Daly in the pitch. Fastball inside for a ball. It's 2-0. 2-0 the count to Michael York of the Profs. There's Daly from the stretch. Runners holds. Curveball line inside for a ball. Thought Bianculli was going to go there. Put a little bluff and bluffed me. 3-0 the count to Michael York. The stretch by Daly in the pitch. Fastball into right field. The right fielder, Mike Milmo, coming on in foul ground, makes the one-handed grab for the third out of the inning. There were no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the third inning with William Patterson leading Glassboro 3-1.
89.7 WGLS-FM, Glassboro.
And we are back at Trop Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski. 62 degrees in Glassboro for a beautiful day today. High's going to get up around 75 degrees as the Pioneers take the bat.
Mike Milmo leads it off. He walked his first time up. Fastball bounces in there. Ball 1. I should have worn my shorts, Alan. I knew I should have worn shorts. I'm really starting to roast out here as the wind has died down.
Mike Milmo was one of those lucky men who got driven in by that 3-run homer.
Double.
For the 3-run double.
Popped up in the infield. Balsteri, the catcher, calling for it, and Lutner calls him off and makes the easy play.
Balsteri was faced the wrong way. He had the sun in his eyes. He lost it. Lutner saw it very clearly and was able to run right over and caught it just about standing on home plate.
So that's 1 out here, and that'll bring to the plate the big man of the day for William Patterson, Jeff Kurtz. He doubled his last time up and brought in 3 runs. So all 3 runs for William Patterson today.
So far, very clearly, the play of the day, and the man of the day so far.
All right, here's Lutner with his first pitch to him. Curveball inside. Lutner remembers, that's for sure. Didn't want to give him anything there. Ball 1.
Long ball.
Yes, Jeff Kurtz. He is a junior, 6 foot 280 pounds.
Ball taken inside, 2-0.
And he comes from Naples, Florida. The man from out down south.
2-0 pitch. Called strike. 2-1. 2-1 the count to him. Here's Lutner from the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Fouled down the left field line on a rope. 2-2.
That one goes right over to the tennis courts. As Jeff Lutner takes the mound again for his 2-2 pitch.
Lutner from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball outside for ball, full count.
So far, that must be like the 5th or 6th time I've seen a full count. Lutner has been going to full count quite a few times this game.
He does have 4 walks. Next pitch is grounded to second base and Bianculli. Gloves, throws over to Comagese. And Kurtz is out for the first time today.
And that makes 2 outs for the Pioneers and brings up number 20, Frank Barker, the third baseman.
Barker grounded out to Bianculli his first time to the plate. Lutner in control so far this inning with 2 outs. Here's his windup in the pitch. Curveball high and outside for ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Frank Barker. Here's the windup in the pitch. Curveball again high and inside for ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Frank Barker. Here's Lutner from the windup in the pitch. Fastball right over our heads. 2-1.
That's about as close as they get. And the Props do have a right-hander over in the bullpen. I, again, cannot see who it is, but he has a couple of people watching him closely to see if he's ready.
That would be number 20, Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly.
Fastball down the third base line, just goes foul, 2-2. So Kelly warming up a little early here as the Props realize this is a big game for him today.
Yes, Jack Kelly has a 4-0 win-loss percentage. And it might be interesting to see him come into the game late. It's possible the Props only brought in Lutner to warm up the game and considered bringing in Kelly late, because Kelly so far has been a hero for the Props.
All right, Lutner from the windup. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Curveball, called strike 3. Barker goes down looking. In the third inning for William Patterson, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third with William Patterson leading 3-1.
And we're back at Prop Field as the Props pick up their bats and get ready to hit. I'm Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski as Al Chikatello.
Okay.
He steps up to plate. He is the designated hitter for the Props, number 40.
He singled his first time up.
Al Chikatello is pretty much a sure hitter. When he gets up there, he's going to hit something usually. Might hit out, but he's always going to hit.
Right?
Yes, he's always going to hit the baseball.
Okay. There's the first pitch to him. Fastball called strike. 1 strike to Al Chikatello. First batter here in the third inning with the Props trailing 3-1 in the third. Next pitch to him, fastball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Al Chikatello. Jim Daly on the mound for William Patterson with a 4-0 mark coming into today's ball game.
After Chikatello comes Darren Comachis, who RBI'd last inning.
Fastball outside for ball, it's 2-1.
I'm sorry, he RBI'd the first inning. That was last inning, wasn't it?
2-1 to him. Here's the windup by Daly in the pitch. Flied into center field. Bruce Dostal under it, though, with plenty of time. And he squeezed it for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, the men in the field have been having a little bit of problems today because the sun is just about over home plate, as I see it from here. And they've been having to do quite a lot of shading their eyes, to say the least, out here in order to catch those fly balls. So possibly a nice strategy might be to hit him a little bit in the air. Doesn't always work.
Here comes Comagis. First pitch to him is inside for a ball. Comagis singled and knocked in the only run for the Props his first time up. 1-0 to him. The windup by Daly, the 1-0 pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-0.
Comagis is a big man. He's from Burlington, New Jersey. He is 6'4", 210 pounds.
2-0 to him. And here's his pitch. A little change up high and outside for a ball. 3-0 to him. I'm sure he'll be taking here. 3-0 to Darren Comagis, and here's his 3-0 pitch. Ball in the dirt, ball 4. And Comagis draws a walk. That's the second walk of the ball game, distributed by Jim Daly.
Okay, and that brings up number 33, Keith Lee, center fielder.
And Lee reached on base on a fielder's choice his first time up and stole second base. So Comagis is on first, takes his lead. Here's the first pitch to Lee, foul back and out of play, strike 1. Keith Lee trying to get something going here for the Props. They trail 3-1 in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch to him. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. He throws to second for 1, back to first. Oh, and they call him out. I don't know about that call.
Double play.
We'll call it 1-6-3 for the double play, and the Props score no runs on no hits. There were no errors and no men left on base. We go
Pretty much nothing happened.
Yeah, we go in the top of the 4th inning as Mike Briglia comes out to argue with the umpire here. Uh-oh. Well, we'll be back right after this.
Alan Cobb back here at Prof Field along with Tad Kosneski. There was a little bit of a controversy at the end of the last inning, as Mike Briglia, the head coach of the Profs, went out to argue that very, very close double play call. The umpire was all the way over second base as the ball was thrown to first, and they did, as a matter of fact, throw Keith Lee out. Was that Jamie Fazio out at first?
Yeah.
So it brings up
John Wilson, DH for William Patterson, takes the first pitch for a called strike. 0-1 to him. Just a windup by Lutner in the 0-1 pitch. Fastball in the dirt, ball 1. It was an interesting play. It confused me as Briglia came out and gave his voice to the umpire out at second base, but not too much happened out of it.
He does have a loud voice once in a while.
Little number to third baseman Giampetti. He charges and throws over to first base Comegys for the first out of the inning. Scored 5-3 as Wilson goes down. Now bring to plate Carmine Romano, who grounded out to shortstop his first time up.
Yes, he's the catcher, number 8 in the lineup.
So one quick out here in the 4th inning. As Lordner gets set to look in.
He's a junior from Leona, right-hander.
Hey, Lutner from the windup again. Here's his first pitch to him. Fastball, called strike. Looked a little hesitant, did Romano, on that one. Didn't look like he liked that one. Right down the middle for a called strike. There's Lutner's 0-1 pitch. Curveball outside, bouncing our way for a ball. 1-1. Excuse me.
You're getting a little bit nervous with these balls coming our direction.
One of these is going to nail us, right? What are you going to do, though? 1-1 the count to Carmen Romano, the catcher, for William Patterson.
Take up fishing, you'll probably get bit by a shark.
The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. Lutner ready to pitch again. He's not hesitating. He's ready. Here's his windup in the 2-1 pitch. Ball in the dirt, 3-1.
It is a beautiful day out here. Surprisingly enough, though, the Profs bleachers are relatively empty. We've been having a very, very busy season with a lot of people watching these games, but today, even though it's a doubleheader, it's a beautiful day, they just haven't come out yet.
Here's Lutner's 3-1 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner, 3-2. Lutner thus far does have 4 walks and 1 strikeout here in the 4th inning. Here's Lutner's windup in the 3-2 pitch. Fastball fouled way, way over our heads. And it broke a window.
Oh!
Broke a window.
Over in Bunce Hall, what used to be Dean Beebe's office window has just been broken.
Right through the window. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Grounded to shortstop Scott Ty. He fields. Throws over plenty of time. And Romano goes off. Who knows? They may make him pay a fine for that. Right through the window over there.
Yep. Knocks down 2 Pioneers and 1 more. And this is going to be number 28. No, I'm sorry.
29.
Number 29, Claude Petroselli, second baseman.
He bats with 2 outs.
And he bats from the right side.
The pitch, curveball, high and outside for a ball, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. The 9th batter, Claude Petroselli, the next pitch to him. Line into left field. I think you can kiss that one goodbye, folks. And you can. That ball's out of here. Solo home run for the 9th hitter, Claude Petroselli. Line drive over a rope. Left fielder Michael York didn't even move on it. So a solo home run by Claude Petroselli. He is psyched.
And that brings the Pioneers even 1 more bat ahead, and one more run ahead, that is. 4-1 for the Pioneers.
That was one of those no doubt about it home runs. As soon as he hit it, I knew that ball was gone. You weren't bringing that one back.
Yeah, they were wishing now they had a couple more men on base again. Brings up number 2, the top of the order, Glenn Merendino, shortstop.
That was only the 2nd hit given up by Lutner. The other one was that 3-run double, so he's been hurt by the big hit in this game. First pitch is a fastball for a called strike. One strike, the leadoff batter, Glenn Marandino, who reached base on an error and has walked. The windup in the pitch, swung on and missed on a fastball. Strike two. Rutner's definitely aggravated as he's out there on the mound.
And the Props do have those two right-handers, including Jack Kelly, out there in the bullpen.
The 0-2 pitch, grounded between third and short, but fielded by Scott Ty. Throws, but not in time. Scored a base hit for leadoff batter Glenn Marandino. Ty just gloved it deep in the hole and tried to make the best play out of it he could, but he just could not get him.
It was a good stop, though. He had a dive in the dirt to grab it. And that brings up number 6, Bruce Dostell, center fielder.
Dostell, let's see, has reached base on a walk, has scored a run in the first, and he has flied out on an infield fly ball to third baseman Brian Giampetti. 2 outs here in the fourth inning. Swung on and missed.
Marandino's taking some big leads out there again.
Strike one, the count to Bruce Dostell. Marandino on first, takes his lead. Lutner from the stretch, the pitch. Fastball outside for ball, it's 1-1.
They're going to try for a hit and run this time. Marandino is again starting to run as the pitch goes down.
It's 1-1, the count to Dostell. Lutner from the stretch. Runner going, the pitch, high and in, taken for a ball. Throw. Safe. Stolen base for Glenn Marandino. Good throw by Ballesteri that time, just didn't get there in time. So credit a stolen base to Glenn Marandino.
That's the second steal for the Pioneers this game. And the throw was okay, it was in time. However, the second baseman, Fred Bianculli, was just nowhere near the base, had no chance to really catch that and get to him.
2-1 pitch, outside, ball 3 on the fastball, 3-1.
And Marandino's taking again big leads, trying again maybe for a hit and run this time.
All right, here's the 3-1 pitch, taking ball 4, and that's the 5th walk for Lutner thus far today.
And Lutner's definitely in trouble. He kind of hangs his head low as he waits for the next batter to come up, and he is number 24, Tony Listro.
Tony Listro comes up, he's flied to left field and popped out to first baseman Darren Comegys. Here's the first pitch to him, fastball for a called strike. 1 strike to Tony Listro, the left fielder for William Patterson. 1 run in on the inning on Claude Petroselli's home run. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Fastball outside for a ball, 1-1.
Come on, Jack.
Lutner again from the stretch, and here's his 1-1 pitch. Curveball called for a strike, a beautiful pitch. Caught Dostell sleeping there, wasn't expecting that. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. Curve again, swung on and missed. So a strikeout for Jeff Lutner. That's his second strikeout in the ball game. There was 1 run, there were 2 hits, there were no errors, and 1 man left on base. We on the bottom of the 4th with William Patterson leading Glassboro 4-1.
Alan Cobb back here at Prof Field, and Jamie Fazio for the Props is up. So far, the Props have had the past 2 innings ended really quick at their at-bats with no runs, and they're trying to make up for that as they go into this inning trailing 4-1.
First base to Fazio is a fastball to dirt ball 1. He walked his first time up. There's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. The count to Jamie Fazio. Thus far, pitcher Jim Daly has given up 3 hits. There were 2 bases on balls and a ground ball down to first baseman Jeff Kurtz. He fields and makes the play unassisted. So 1 down as Fazio grounds out to first base here in the 4th. And that'll bring to play Brian Giampetti, who grounded out to second base his first time up.
Yes, Giampetti, number 45, and he is the Props' number 7 man at bat. He's third baseman. And the windup and the pitch.
Fastball taken inside for a ball 1. 1-0 to Brian Giampetti. Jim Daly on the mound with a 4-0 record. The pitch, fastball called strike, 1-1. Here's the next delivery by Daly. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2, 1-2. Daly's has pretty much controlled the Profs thus far today. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Giampetti. Here's the pitch. Popped up in the infield. Who's going to take it? The pitcher's calling, and now he's called off by the third baseman, and he comes in. Frank Barker makes the play, running all the way into his dugout for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring the plate Scott Tye, the shortstop, who flied out to right field his first time up.
Does not look very good for the Profs.
Still a long way to go here. We're only in the 4th inning of scheduled 9 here in the first game. Second game scheduled to go 7. So 2 quick outs, and Scott Tye to the plate.
Not a good way to start off the game, though, unfortunately for the Profs, but they're going to keep on trying. They don't quit until the end. That's one thing of their history.
First pitch, low and outside, but swung on and missed for a strike. 1 strike to Scott Tye, reaching for that bad pitch. Profs appear to be getting frustrated up at the plate, swinging a lot of bad pitches. Here's the windup in the pitch. Fastball high inside for ball 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Scott Tye, the shortstop here for the Profs, and the Profs are trailing 4-1. The next pitch is fouled off the catcher's mask. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's got to hurt. Shaking his head a little bit. On deck, speaking of catchers, is Profs catcher Seth Bellasteri.
It's got to be scary to say the least.
And not fun. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scott Tye. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. The windup in the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. A quick inning for the Profs. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We got to the top of the 5th with William Patterson leading the Profs 4-1.
And we're back at Prof Field. I'm Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski. Profs are out in the field as Mike Milmo steps up, or is going to step up to bat for William Patterson Pioneers. In the first inning, he got a base on balls and turned that into a run off of that 3-run double, and in the 3rd inning, he flew out in the infield. He steps up to base. Jeff Lettner's still pitching, but I myself don't know if he's going to be there for long.
All right, Milmo steps in. Lettner from the windup, and here's his first pitch to him. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. In the first inning, the leadoff batter, Glenn Marandino, led off with an error. Bruce Dostal walked. Tony Listro flied to left. Milmo walked, and then that loaded the bases for Jeff Kurritz, the first baseman for William Patterson, and he knocked everybody in on the base with a double. They got 3 runs in the first, and then last inning, Claude Petroselli with the home run, and there you have it, William Patterson leading 4-1. The next pitch, curveball, swung on and missed, strike 2. They're having a lot of trouble trying to hit Lundner's curveball today, 0-2.
Unfortunately, it's the only pitch that's really doing good for Lutz, as Luttner, as the next one is just about in the dirt.
1-2. Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch, low and inside for a ball, 2-2.
His fastball is either high or low, and that curveball is the only one that's really hitting the pocket.
All right, here comes Luttner again with the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Grounded right back at him. Over his head, shortstop Scott Tye, bare hand, long throw, can't get him. Infield single for Mike Milmo. I thought Luttner had a shot at it, but it just bounced over his head. Tye came in from shortstop, made a barehanded grab and threw over, but not in time.
Would have been a beautiful play, but that brings up number 11, Jeff Kurtz, the man that we've been talking about. And he
did have, in the first inning, he doubled with the bases loaded, knocking in 3 runs, and he has grounded to second base. So 1 for 2 on the day with 3 RBIs. Nobody out here in the 5th inning. Luttner from the stretch, the man on first, curveball inside for a ball. 1-0. Runner on first base is Mike Milmo. He's singled. Lutner from the stretch. Back to first base. Safe is Milmo.
There wasn't much of a chance there. He was a little bit asleep out there, Milmo, but it was only a couple of feet off base. Not very hard to get back.
There's Lutner's 1-0 pitch. Fastball called strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeff Kurtz, the big man for... Anyways, we sacrificed some tape here. I'll have to save that for later as the wind seems to blow the papers around. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kurtz steps back in. Here's Lutner's stretch, and the 1-2 pitch. Runner going, curveball popped in the right fielder. We have a shot for a double play here, but the first baseman goes out, Comegys fields, and the runner does make it back in time. It wasn't quite long enough for right fielder Jamie Fazio to glove it, so Comegys had to go out and get it, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning.
And that brings up number 20, Frank Barker, the third baseman for the Pioneers, as the props resume their positions, and we get ready for this next batter, and that's 1 out.
Let's see, Barker has grounded to second and struck out looking in the third. 0 for 2 thus far in the day. Runner on first base is Milmo, takes his lead. There's a stretch and a ground ball, could be 2. Ty Fields throws to Bianculli for 1. Back to first, double play. A fine way to end the inning. There was no runs, there was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We are at the bottom of the 5th with William Patterson leading off Props 4-1.
Alan Cobb back here at Prop Field along with Tad Kosneski. That last inning, the top of the 5th inning, ended with a double play for the Props, and that's kind of getting back the Pioneers for the very close double play to end the 3rd inning. Right now we're at the bottom of the 5th, and that brings up Seb Balistreri, and he is the bottom of the lineup, the catcher.
He struck out his first time up. The first pitch to him is a fastball. Taking inside for a ball as the crowd and the Props start to get yelping here, trying to get something going here in the 5th.
So far, the Props have had 2 empty innings in a row, and they do not want to do that again.
All right, 1-0 the count. The leadoff batter, Seth Balistreri. The pitch, fastball taken inside for a ball, 2-0. Warming up in the bullpen once again for the Props is Jack Kelly. If the Props can get something on the board here. 2-0 the count. The catcher, Seth Balistreri. Jack Bailey on the mound. Here's his next pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 3. 3-0 to catcher Seth Balistreri.
Props are really talking it up in that bullpen, in the dugout.
Here's the pitch to him. Fastball called strike, 3-1.
They're banging, hollering, and shouting. I think there's a fire in that dugout.
3-1. They're trying to start something. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Balistreri draws the walk. Balistreri on first base. That is the 3rd walk of the game for Daly.
And McCaffrey, number 39, is going to be our courtesy runner, and he takes first base for the Props. McCaffrey is a very big runner, and you better look for a steal from him because he usually doesn't get up there to first base without one.
So Lance McCaffrey on first. He's the pinch runner, and that'll bring the play Bianculli with 2 singles on the day. First pitch, curveball outside for a ball, 1-0.
And now the Props are really, really disturbing Jim Daly. He cannot connect on those pitches.
McCaffrey takes his lead. The stretch and the pitch, ball 2 inside for a ball, 2-0. Daly walking around the mound trying to compose himself. Third baseman Frank Barker calls time. Going to talk it over to the pitcher Jim Daly, and you can hear the Props going to town here.
That's probably number 1 reason for these kind of wild pitches he's been throwing there.
All right. Getting something together here in the 5th.
Timeout ends, and Balistreri, is on first. Bianculli has 2 singles.
The 2-0 pitch, runner going, ball 3 in the dirt. The throw down the second, safe is McCaffrey.
Very close save. He slid in there, but a beautiful slide in. That was McCaffrey. And so McCaffrey's on second base off that steal.
And it's 3-0 the count. to Fred Bianculli, the leadoff batter. Here's the stretch by Daly and the 3-0 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Profs have runners on first and second base with nobody out for big, bad Michael York.
Number 44, Mike York. He hit one in, and he had was an outfield fly in the second inning.
And he has walked in the first and scored the lone prop run. So here we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Profs trying to get something together, and it looks like we're going to have a relief pitcher here. So we're going to have a change in pitchers for William Patterson. The Profs getting something together here in the bottom of the 5th. They have runners in first and second with nobody out. And we're going to take a break here. We shall be back with the new pitcher and more action right after this.
Alan Cobb back here at Prof Field along with Tad Kosneski. We have a new hitter, a new pitcher.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the guy on the mound for the Pioneers, and that is Mike Gagg. He is a junior.
All right, Mike Gagg with a 3.42 ERA on the year. Has no one-loss record, but does have one save. He has 16 strikeouts, 22 walks, giving up 32 runs, 9 of them earned. That has to make you wonder there. He's given up 33 hits in 23 and 2/3 innings pitched. But he does seem to fire here with the chew in his mouth. He's going to dig in and face Michael York of the Profs. Once again, York has walked and flied out to right field. 0 for 1 on the day. He has runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. William Patterson leading at 4-1. The Profs making a move. Trying to make their run right now. Putting something together. Has big Mike Gagg on the mound.
And he's a right-hander, 6'2", 200 pounds from Butler, New Jersey, way up north.
All right, Gagg ready to pitch. He's gone from the stretch. Runners on first and second, nobody out. First pitch, bunt on try, fouled back to the screen by Michael York.
Caught by a man in the Pioneer dugout, but that doesn't make it out, unfortunately. The man was not playing the game.
Bad attempt by Michael York on the bunt there. Didn't extend his arms, just had a weak attempt at the bunt. And the rotation play was on for William Patterson, third baseman charging.
He pretty much hit it with the tip of the bat also. It didn't really reach.
Mike Barker, the third baseman, up on the grass. He looks like he'll be charging again. I don't know if York's going to be bunting here. We'll have to see. Here's the stepping off the mound is Mike Gagg, the pitcher. Profs still getting excited here. The crowd getting into the game. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, first and second, bottom of the 5th. Gagg from the stretch, not bunting the pitch. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. York was not bunting on that play. I don't think we're going to see York bunting here.
And we're still keeping an eye on McCaffrey over on second base. He looks ready to take a steal here if he gets the slightest provocation.
Here's 1-1. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside, missing. 2-1 the count to Michael York. This is when we may see like a hit-and-run play right here. If I was thinking about it, we might see one. I don't know.
Romano, the catcher for the Pioneers, did a very good job in that one. He was in the dirt. He did a good job of keeping it in front of him. He almost had a chance to throw it to third there.
All right, here's Guy getting his sign. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Strike called on the fastball to York. It's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Michael York. First and second, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th, Profs trailing 4-1. Here's the sign given by Gagg, the stretch, and here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball line to second baseman. He knocks it down, throws to second. Safe call, back to first. We might have a double safe call here. We're going to have to regroup here. The man was definitely safe at second. We're waiting to see what the sign was in first base. We could have a double safe here.
Very close. It looks like a second safe call as the umpire is now arguing vehemently with the coach of the Pioneers. And that's stopping this game for a minute. Looks like we have men on first, second, and third. Bases loaded here at Prof Field.
All right, let me recap what happened. It was a ground ball to second baseman. Claude Petroselli hit on 1 hop. He knocked it down, threw over to shortstop Glenn Marandino, but Marandino was off the bag, and the runner heading into second base, Bianculli, was ruled safe. The throw went over to first base, Jeff Kurtz, and the man coming into first base, which was York, was also ruled safe.
And there's still a big argument. Now the field umpire has gotten it confirmed by the home plate umpire, but the entire field, all the players for the Pioneers are really arguing this, and it's really disheartening them.
Okay, everybody is going to be remaining on the bases. We have bases loaded, nobody out, a golden opportunity to score here for the Profs. Al Ciccatello to the plate, singled his first time up, and fly to center field as the outfielders who were in the infield move back out to their outfield position. Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the fifth inning. Profs, a golden opportunity to put some runs on the board. They need 3 to tie, 4 to take the lead. We're in the bottom of the fourth, scheduled 9.
If anyone can do it, Ciccatello probably has a chance to get somebody.
The stretch in the pitch, fouled back out of play, strike 1. Gag going right at him with the fastball. Relief pitcher Mike Gag in for Jim Daly, the starting pitcher for William Patterson.
And still no outs here at Prof Field.
Ciccatello stepping back in. Gag looking in for his sign. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Here's the windup and the pitch, stretch outside, ball 2, 2-0. And we have 1-1, excuse me. We have 1-1 to count to Al Ciccatello. Bases are loaded. All right, here's the stretch by Gag and the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 2, 2-1 to Ciccatello.
Profs really talking it up in the dugout, and it looks like they
2-1 to count to Ciccatello. The stretch by Gag and the pitch. Fastball line into center field. Base hit. 1 run will score. Holding at third base is Bianculli. The Profs bring in another one.
And McCaffrey comes in for the Profs. And the big man, Darren Comegys, number 48. He's the man who hit the only RBI for the Profs. Well, the first RBI for the Profs this game. He is a huge man, number 48. And he is up at bat.
The bases do remain loaded for him. The Profs get 1 run out of it so far. They trail it now 4-2. Bases loaded, nobody out for Comegys. Looking for a big hit. Here's the stretch by Gag and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. Comegys trying to go downtown, ball in the dirt, swung on, but didn't make any contact on it. No balls and 1 strike to Comegys. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the stretch by Gag and the pitch. Curveball, running in right field, base hit. That'll bring in a run. Rounding third base is York. Here's the throw to plate, and York is safe as the ball goes over the dugout. So 2 runs score. Another run scores. 3 runs. Ciccatello will come to plate. On the overthrow, the Profs get a big at bat by Darren Comegys, who singled to right field, knocked in 2, and on the overthrow, Ciccatello comes in to score.
That's a 3-run triple for Darren Comegys.
Actually, you're going to have to call that a 3-run single with a 2-base error. So you really can't. The ball was fielded by the right fielder, Mike Milmo, and he threw way over the catcher's head and right over the Profs dugout, bringing in 3 runs. And that means the Profs have tied it here in the 5th.
That was a very, very bad play. At the very least, you want to play it safe in a situation like that. Throw it to the cutoff man, usually the pitcher, and let 1 man get in. And in this case, they let 3 men get in instead of just 1.
Well, Bianculli and York were scoring all the way. He was throwing to get York out at the plate. It wasn't even close. York touched the plate before the ball even came close to home plate. Keith Lee to the plate now with nobody out. He bunts, it's going to foul, and it just stays foul. Fine bunt attempt by Lee, but the ball did go foul.
Lee ran it all the way out, though, and he's going to run back to first base.
A lot of excitement here for the Profs. Ballesteri led off with a walk. Bianculli then walked, and Michael York reached base on an error, which knocked in Ballesteri. The bases were loaded for Ciccatello. Ciccatello singled to right field, knocked in 3 runs, reaches third base on the 2-base error by right fielder Mike Milmo.
And sends the Profs ahead, by the way.
Gag with the stretch and the pitch to Lee. Swung on and missed, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Keith Lee. Runner on third base is Darren Comegys.
we can send Comegys in, then we pretty much got a
Strike
game,
3 to lead.
a turnaround game here with the Profs then in a commanding lead.
So Lee goes down swinging. That's the first strikeout for Mike Gagg, and that'll bring to plate Jamie Fazio, the right fielder, who walked in the first and made an infield pop-up in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to Fazio outside for a ball 1. 1-0 to Jamie Fazio with Comegys on third base. Gagg looking in. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 1, excuse me. 1-1. 4 runs in here in the fifth.
Profs just slightly subdued after that big play, Darren Comegys.
1-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2 the count to Jamie Fazio. 1 out here in the fifth. Profs have tied it here. Tied at 4. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Strike 3 called. Fastball on the outside corner. Fazio goes down swinging.
Pretty much second knockout here by...
Oh, and I have to correct myself. The Profs have scored 4 runs in this inning. They take the lead by 1 and lead it by a score of 5-4.
5-4, but the man who would pretty much bring him ahead by 2 runs, and that's Darren Comegys, the man who hit in the single for 3 runs, is sitting there 90 feet away, and Giampetti's the man who's trying to bring him in.
Giampetti grounded the second in the first and flied out to third base in the fourth. 0 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. 1-1. 2 outs here.
And it starts getting very hot here. The wind dies down quite a bit. And this is turning out to be a perfect day for baseball. Great for a doubleheader.
Excuse me again. 1-1 the count to Giampetti. Mike Gagg, relief pitcher for Jim Daly on the mound. Here's a stretch by Daly in the pitch. Flying into left field. Left fielder Tony Listro under it, awaiting the ball. Makes the catch for the third out of the inning. But recapping, there was, believe it or not, only 1 hit in the inning. That was Darren Comegys' hit. There were 4 runs scored. There was 2 errors and 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the 6th with the Profs in the lead, 5-4.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski in the first game of a doubleheader. Second game will be Matt Santos going to be doing the play-by-play and Tad Kosneski doing the color commentary. And right now we have John Wilson up at bat for William Patterson. Those are the Pioneers.
First pitch to him is low and inside for ball. Lutner has got to have a new attitude here. He's having a rough game thus far, but he comes out in the mound with a 1-run lead here in the 6th. There's the 1-0 pitch from Lutner, grounded down to third baseman Brian Giampetti. He gloves and throws over to Comegys for the first out of the inning.
Plenty of time there.
So it seems like Lutner's settled down here and just going to try and pitch to the batters and not overpower them this time.
Yes, and that brings up number 28, Carmine Romano, the catcher.
And he has grounded to short in both appearances thus far today.
Consistent, at least.
So with 1 out, the Profs leading by 1 run. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop again. Oh, Scott Ty bounces over his head. That's going to be a base hit as it took a bad hop, almost took Ty's head off. So that's going to be a single for Mike Romano.
And it brings up Claude Petroselli, who also grounded out to shortstop in second inning, and he hit a solo home run last time up at bat.
That was the 5th hit given up by Lutner thus far today. A bad break for the Profs. 9th batter Petroselli step again. Lutner from the stretch. 1 out. Here's his pitch. Fastball hitting the right center field.
It's gone.
Jamie Fazio. No. Jamie Fazio there makes the play.
A little bit of an early call by me.
I don't know what Alan was looking at, but that was a relatively routine play out the right field.
No, there's the bird.
There's 2 outs here. In the 6th inning, and that'll bring up the plate leadoff batter Glenn Merendino. He has reached base on an error, walked and singled.
And he stole a base also.
Stolen 2, as a matter of fact.
Stolen two. A big stealing man for the Pioneers.
Okay, we have 2 outs here at the top of the 6th. Props leading at 5-4.
Man on first base. As Lutner
goes over to first base, and back in time is Carmine Romano. So Romano's back in safely. Lutner from stretch. Here's his first pitch. Fastball called strike. 1 strike to leadoff batter Glenn Marandino.
And that cuts off Petrocelli's try for second base on the hit and run.
The stretch again by Lutner in the pitch. Popped up, couldn't fall for a base hit. Bianculli going back, and he does make the play. There were no runs. There was 1 hit. There was 1 man left on base with no errors. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning with the Profs leading 5-4.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb here as the Profs talk it up, and that brings up Scott Ty. He's hit. He fouled. What is that?
What a trip by Scott Ty. Because I feel by the first baseman, tied down, safe as he beats it out. Oh, beautiful bunt by Scott Ty, fielded by first baseman Jeff Kurtz. Flipped to pitcher Mike Gag, but beaten out.
That's his first hit of the game. Excuse me for bumbling that there. He has flown out once, and he was looking, and he struck out in the 4th inning, and he leads off the 6th inning beautifully for the Profs. And the Profs are leading this game by a score of 5-4.
And coming to the plate is the 9th batter, Seb Ballesteri. He struck out and walked and scored in the 5th inning. 1 man on, nobody out. Profs have a 5-4 lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning as we start to raise a little hell out here. Here's the stretch by Gag, and the pitch, bunt attempt, brought back. No offer given by Ballesteri. Takes for a strike. 1 strike to him. Gag, the relief pitcher. He's relieving for Jim Daly. Here's Gag's pitch. Taken outside for a ball. 1-1.
Scott Ty just got back in time for the short throw to first base.
It was just a quick snap throw from the catcher. Sign given by Coach Gersel at third. Could have something on. It's 1-1 the count to Ballesteri. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Runner going. Foul, way foul down the left field line. Way out in front of it was Ballesteri. 1-2. Had to hit and run on. But nothing happened there as the ball went foul. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to catcher Seb Ballesteri. Mike Gag on the mound, relieving again Jim Daly. Came in this game 4-0, but looks like he could be hit with a loss if the Profs can hold the lead. Ty takes his lead. He's got a big one. The stretch and the pitch. Pitch out, nothing on. 2-2.
That loud banging you hear in the background is the Profs not only talking it up in their dugout, but also hitting with bats against the metal ceiling of the dugout. They really want to distract the pitcher Mike Gag with the loud noises, and they seem to be doing a fairly good job of it these past 2 innings.
Gag from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled right back at us. Count remains 2-2.
And another lucky fan here at Prof Field.
So it's still 2-2 to Seb Ballesteri with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Profs leading at 5-4. They had a 4-run in 5th inning, and the big blow was Darren Comagene single to right field, which knocked in 3 runs on the overthrow by right fielder Mike Milmo. Here's the stretch, the 2-2 pitch, swung on right back to the pitcher Fields, throws over to first. Advancing on to second base is Scott Ty. And with 1 out here in the 6th, that'll bring up Fred Bianculli. Fred is 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles and a walk and a run scored.
And he is the top of the lineup. Coming after him, Mike York and Al Chicatello. And the big man of the day for the Profs would be number 4 in the lineup, Darren Comgie, the first baseman.
All right, Bianculli steps in. Gag gets his sign from the stretch. Here's his first pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, the leadoff batter for the Profs, Fred Bianculli. There's the stretch in the pitch. Fastball hitting the right center field, going deep into the gap. But Mike Milmo manages to come over and makes the play. Tagging is Scott Ty, and he will make it into third base easily. So Ty advances to third on the sacrifice fly by Fred Bianculli.
And that brings up, as I said, Mike York, the big man, number 44 to base. And York, he has gone around twice, and that was on a base on balls in the first inning, and a hit in the fifth inning, and in the second inning he flew out to outfield.
All right, here's York with the runner on third base. From the stretch is Gag in the pitch. Curveball inside for a ball, 1-0. Wind blowing out the left field now. Not a very strong wind, but still a little wind blowing out the left field for York.
As a reminder, listeners that are listening to WGLS FM Glassboro.
Ground ball to second baseman Claude Petroselli. He fields and throws for the third out of the inning. There was no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the 7th inning with the Profs leading 5-4.
On top back here at Prof Field along with Tad Kosneski. Score. The Profs lead 5-4 as William Patterson comes up on base in the 6th inning, trying to, the 7th inning, getting near the end of the game, and the Pioneers are trying to bring this game back into their hands as it was snatched away from them.
Bruce Dostal leading off. He's walked twice and had an infield fly out. Here's the windup by Lutner in his first pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. 1 strike to Bruce Dostal, the center fielder for the William Patterson Pioneers, who are trailing 5-4.
After Dostal comes up Listro and Milmo, the cleanup hitter.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Lutner. Curveball, beautiful pitch, called strike. And Dostal does not like it as he steps out of the box, shaking his head. Lutner ahead in the count, 0-2, leading the ball game 5-4. Here's his windup in the pitch. Fastball in the dirt, ball 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bruce Dostal. Lutner gets his sign. Here he comes from the windup, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball grounded down to first baseman Darren Comgie. He fields, flips to Lutner, and in time.
Very good play, very good play. Good coverage by Lutner, coming off the mound very fast to catch that short pitch out to him. Well, pitch out. That's football. A little
flip toss.
A little flip toss, whatever you want to call it. Looked like a pitch out.
All right, now bring up Tony Listro to the plate. He's flied to left field. He's popped down to the infield, and he has struck out. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Lutner's pitch to him. Fastball line to the left field. Michael York there, though. And he squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning. So that makes 2 quick outs here in the 7th. That'll bring the plate Mike Milmo. Milmo has walked and scored in the first. He has flied on the infield fly again to the pitcher, and he has singled. 1 for 2 on the day.
Milmo, number 14, is the right fielder for the Pioneers. And he is a righty, 6'2", 180 pounds from Clifton, New Jersey.
All right, Lutner gets his sign. Here's the windup and the pitch to him. Curveball, little high, just missing for ball 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Mike Milmo, the center fielder. Here's the windup and the pitch. Foul back to the screen, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Milmo. Lutner has seemed to have new life ever since Prof scored the 4 runs back in the 5th inning.
That's the kind of big play that you need. Even defensively, you need that kind of big get-up-and-go play.
The 1-1 pitch is flied into right fielder. Jamie Fazio under, he waits and squeezes it for the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We on the bottom of the seventh inning with the props leading William Patterson 5-4.
Yes, we're back here at Prop Field, Allen Cobb, along with Tad Kosneski. Beautiful day, around 68 degrees. Going to be getting up to a high of 75 degrees today, and clear and low in the mid-40s tonight. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs around 70 to 75. As Al Chicatello gets up like
that weather forecast. Here's Chicatello's first pitch. Curveball inside for a ball. Chicatello, let me see, has singled, fly to center, and reach base on an error. 1-0, relief pitcher Mike Gagg still in the ball game. Here's the first next pitch. Oh, might have hit him, and it does. And Chicatello will take a free pass. So Chicatello leads off with a hit pitch. Now bring up Darren Comegys with the big blow. Back in the fifth inning, he singled to right field with the bases loaded, bringing everybody in on the wild throw by Mike Milmo, the right fielder.
In case you forgot, he also RBI'd in the first inning.
All right, Comegys steps in. Runner on first is Chicatello. Here's the stretch by Gagg in the pitch. Fastball down the middle, called strike. 0-1 to Comegys.
Matter of fact, he is the only man who has RBI'd this game for the props.
Here's the pitch. Curveball inside for a ball. Nice block made by catcher Carmine Romano. It's 1-1. 1-1 to Comegys here at a beautiful day at Prop Field with the props leading 5-4, scoring 5 runs in the fifth inning to take the lead. Mike Gagg relieves Jim Daly for William Patterson. Gets his sign. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Lined into right field for a base hit. Holding at second base is Chicatello. And Comegys has another single. That's his third single of the ball game. So 3 for 3 is Darren Comegys. And I'll bring the plate Keith Lee. Keith Lee has, let me see, he's grounded into a double play, has grounded to second base and struck out 0 for 3 on the day. Keith Lee stepping in, the left-handed batter. Runners on second and first base. Nobody out. Here's the stretch by Gagg. Runner third charging. Lee bunts, holds to the bunt, and takes for a ball. Ball one to Keith Lee. The rotation play was on for William Patterson. They're looking for the bunt all the way here with nobody out. Third baseman Frank Barker is halfway down the throat of Keith Lee.
And Luckner may have been improving, but the props still have a man in the bullpen practicing.
Lee around the bunt, bunted foul, back to the screen. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Keith Lee, center fielder for the props. Still may see a bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Keith Lee. Gonna see if he's gonna try and bunt here again. First and second base, nobody out. Here's the pitch around the bunt. Bunted foul off the plate. And back to the screen. 1-2 to Keith Lee.
No surprises here. He's definitely going to try to bunt down that first baseline and just grab first base and try to load him up.
Well, it's 1-2 now, so we're not going to see a bunt from Keith Lee. He was sacrificing all the way. He wants just trying to get those runners down to second and third. As we have Frank Scaramuzza, looks like he could be the pinch hitter for Jamie Fazio. We'll just have to see here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Keith Lee. First and second, nobody out. Here in the 7th inning, Plops leading at 5-4. Guy gets his sign from the stretch in the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Lee goes down swinging. That's a second strikeout for Mike Gagg. And now we'll bring to the plate pinch hitter Frank Scaramuzza. Scaramuzza replacing Jamie Fazio, the right fielder.
And Frank Scaramuzza has 9 hits for 11 RBIs, 281 average, and he along with Mike York leads the props with 3 home runs.
So Scaramuzza in there with 1 out, runners on first and second. I'm sure he's not up there to bunt. Scaramuzza stepping in, seeing his first action of the game today. One down here in the 7th. The stretch by Gag in the pitch. Curveball outside, missing for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to big Frank Scaramuzzo. Looking for a big hit here. The Props starting to get in the ball game again in the dugout. Looking for something big from Frank. Frank looks out the pitcher standing there, and he steps back into the box, awaiting his 1-0 pitch.
They have something big in Frank. He is a huge man standing there behind, well, next to home plate.
There's the stretch by Gag and the 1-0 pitch. Curveball called strike, 1-1. Frank was backing away at that one, but it curved right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to big Frank Scaramuzzo. Run on second base, Chicatello, he walked. Run on first is Darren Comagese, he singled. The pitch. Oh, nails him in the back. Didn't seem to face Scaramuzzo at all, and that'll load the bases.
And brings up Brian Giampetti.
He got drilled with a fastball there. It didn't even seem like, it's just like another fly or something, a wiffle ball.
And Giampetti,
let me see, he has grounded to second, he's infield fly to the third baseman, and he has fly to left field.
You know, I cannot read your handwriting there.
So that loads the bases for him with 1 out. Giampetti up. Mike Gag in a little 7th inning trouble. From the stretch, here's his first pitch. Line to the left field, base hit. Chicatello will score. Going into third base is Comagese. He holds, and the Props now lead it 6-4. The bases still remain loaded.
Definitely sets the Props into what looks like a fairly commanding lead with 2 runs up. And they have Scott Ty coming up. Now, he singled last inning, if I'm correct.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And that was his first hit of the game.
He's 1 for 3 on today's ball game. 1 out here in the 7th inning. The Props leading at 6-4. And the manager for Jeff Albies, his name is, for William Patterson, comes out to the mound to talk to Jim Daly. Bases loaded, 1 out. 7th inning, Props leading it 6-4.
Yes, and Daly's been having a couple of small problems. I don't know if they're going to take him out of here right now. Might be just setting up a little bit of strategy, but he has been pitching a little bit below par as compared with the rest of the game.
All right, there will be no pitching change as the manager walks away.
Gag. I'm sorry, not Daly, that is Mike Gag.
So Mike Gag will remain in the ball game, and he'll be facing Scott Ty with the bases loaded and 1 out. Comagese at third, Scaramuzzo at second, Giampetti on first, 1 out. Bases are loaded. Here's the stretch by Gag in the pitch. Fastball bunt try, foul down the first base line. 1-0 the count to Scott Ty.
Very strong bunt. That one, if it would have been in, it would have been probably caught by the first baseman or would have gone into the outfield.
It was very hard hit. All right, it's 1 strike to him. As he steps back in the box, facing Mike Gag. Here's the stretch by Gag, and the pitch. Ooh, right at his head, he ducked out of the way, just missing him. 1-1. Ty takes a little walk around the dugout to collect his thoughts there. 1-1 to him.
Mike Gag here again is throwing a couple of wild pitches there. He's hit 2 batters this inning, I believe.
Yes, he has. 1-1 the count. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Fastball foul back to the screen. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to shortstop Scott Ty for the Props. They lead it 6-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 4-run fifth for the Props put them on top, and they do have 1 run thus far in this inning. 6-4. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scott Ty.
Darren Comagese 90 feet away from another run for the Props.
Mike Gag looks in for a sign. He shakes it off. Shakes off another sign. Timeout called by Ty. He got tired of waiting. Steps out of the box. Still waiting. All right, Ty's just about ready. He steps back in the box. Guy gonna look in again for his sign.
Trying to upset the pitching staff here a little bit.
All right, Guy gets his sign from the stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball pops foul and back out of play. 1-2. Scott walks back to the dugout, looking. Let's see, what's he looking for? Some pine tar to rub on his grip there.
He seems to be trying to slow down the action a little bit of the game. He's been slowing it down. He kind of called a timeout there just as Mike Gagg was about to pitch, but he's up at bat again, and here is
Gagg gets his sign from the stretch. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 pitch, high and inside for ball. 2-2. No place to put Ty. Ty draws a walk. Comegys comes in and scores. If we can get a walk going here, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott Ty 2-2 to him as he steps in. All right, here's the stretch and the pitch. Fastball foul down the right field line. Count remains 2-2.
That one goes into the, oh boy, into the crowds over there. Somebody might have gotten hit. After Scott Ty comes up Seb Balistreri, and he's the bottom of the lineup, and then comes up Fred Bianculli.
So it's 2-2 to Scott Ty here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, Props leading it 6-4.
Only one out.
Mike Gagg again looking for a sign from the stretch. Here's his pitch. Just missing outside with the fastball. It's going to be a full count to Scott Ty. No place to put him. 1 out. Big pitch here. Mike Gagg has to come in with the strike here. Going to be a good pitch for Ty to take a whack at. They're full. The count is full. All right, Gagg in from the stretch. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on and foul back to the screen. Count remains full to Scott Ty. You can sense Mike Gagg letting up on that pitch. He has been firing with pretty good authority thus far, but he let up on that pitch. So Ty looking to do something for the Props here. Full count, bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th. Here's the stretch by Gagg and the full count pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Would have been a ball, but Ty jumped at a high fastball. Goes down swinging for the 2nd out of the inning.
That brings up Sebastian Balistreri, the catcher, the last in the order. And he's gone around once in a base hit.
We have a pinch hitter for Seb. It's going to be Scott Shaw. Scott Shaw batting for Seb Balistreri.
Okay, and Scott Shaw has 13 hits for 12 RBIs, a .394 record. He's gone around twice on home runs.
All right, and the bases are full with 2 outs. Here's Daly from the stretch. He steps off the mound. Shaw can't take the ball out of the ballpark.
That's what they need right now.
Just need a hit or something little happen here. Here's Gagg from the stretch and the pitch. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 the count to Scott Shaw. As Gagg steps off the mound. Starting to get a little bit of a crowd here at Prop Field now. 1 ball, no strikes. The pinch hitter, Scott Shaw. He's batting for Seb Balistreri. Here's the pitch to him. Fastball. Oh, called strike. Looked outside from here. Shaw thought it was outside, but nonetheless, called strike. 1-1 to him. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the 7th. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2.
Now the Props are looking a little bit dismal with 3 men on. They might lose here since it's 2 outs.
That is correct. Here's the stretch by Gagg and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that is the final out of the 7th. But the Props do score 1 run. There were 2 hits. 3 men left on base. We go to the top of the 8th inning with the Props leading William Patterson 6-4.
And on WGLS-FM. We're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb, along with Tad Kozlowski, in the first game of a doubleheader, 20 minutes after 2 p.m. here in Glassboro, as the Profs take the field, and as number 11.
We have some changes for the Profs. Scaramuzzo comes in to play center field. Keith Lee moves from center to the left, and coming in to catch for the Profs is Joe Belloda.
And I was saying number 11, Jeff Kurtz, the man with the 3-run double back in the first inning. He's up at bat. What else has he done this game?
Let's see. He has doubled, knocked in 3 runs, grounded to second, and an infield fly to the first baseman, Darren Comegys. 1 for 3 on the day. 8th inning action here from Prof Field. Profs leading it 6-4.
1 for 3, but a big 1 for 3 it was.
All right, Lutner's anxious to pitch. Here's his windup in the first pitch to Kurtz. Fastball fouled back and out of play. 1 strike to Jeff Kurtz, leading off the 8th inning for the William Patterson Pioneers. Once again, William Patterson is leading the North Division at this moment with a 4-1 record, and our Profs are leading the Southern Division with a 6-1 record. Closely behind on their heels is Trent. Here's Lutner from the windup and the 1-strike pitch. Outside, ball 1-1.
And the Profs do really want to win these games today, because if they do, then they will be continuing to lead Trenton as they go into Monday's game.
Here's Lutner's 1-1 pitch. Fastball lined into right field for a base hit. So Jeff Kurtz leads off the 8th inning with the single, and that'll bring to plate Frank Barker. Frank is grounded to second base, struck out, and grounded into a double play, ending the 5th inning. Of course, makes him 0 for 3 on the day. So here comes the Pioneers of William Patterson trying to get something together here in the 8th inning.
Frank Barker's a righty, sophomore. He's from Emerson, New Jersey.
All right, the runner on first base is Kurtz. Lutner from the stretch, the pitch. Lined into left field, over left fielder Michael York. Out of here, home run, line drive, smack, home run by Frank Barker. Had me fooled. I thought it might bounce in front of the fence, but that ball just clears the fence. Barker has a 2-run homer. And guess what, folks? We're tied at 6 here in the 8th inning. That's the 2nd home run for William Patterson on the day.
That could be a key play, because that puts the pressure on the Profs. When they come up again, they've got to make a run now. They don't want to go to extra innings with this game and have another big 7-inning game right after that.
He smoked a low inside fastball, just sent it over the 365 mark out in left center field. Brings in 2 runs, and we're all tied at 6. That'll bring to the plate John Wilson, designated hitter. John is 0 for 2 on the day. The first pitch, fastball outside for a ball, 1-0. And there's Jack Kelly in the left field bullpen. We may be seeing him before this game is out.
Although he is scheduled supposedly to start off for the Profs in the next game.
2-0 the count to John Wilson, the DH for William Patterson. They have tied it here in the 8th inning on a 2-run home run by Frank Barker, the third baseman. Here's Lutner from the windup in the 0-2-2 pitch, and it's ball 3. 3-0. Lutner definitely frustrated out there on the mound now. 3-0. Wilson going to be taken all the way. Here's Lutner's windup and pitch. Fastball called strike, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike to John Wilson. We're all tied at 6. Stay tuned. A lot more action to come here at WGLS. Here's Lutner's pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Full count. Lutner hanging in there.
Definitely seems to be one of the toughest games the Profs have had. And in the Prof bullpen is Ron Aaron.
So that's Ron Aaron warming up now in the bullpen.
Along with Jack Kelly.
Yeah, like I said, Jack has sat down. I guess I just confused the two. Jack's probably just getting loose for the next game. And Lutner's just about ready. Full count. There's the full count pitch coming up to John Wilson. Fastball blooped into center field. Scaramuzzo, though, there calls it and squeezes it for the first out of the inning. So there's 1 down, and that'll bring to the plate Carmen Romano, the catcher for William Patterson. He has grounded to short twice and singled. 1 for 3 on the day. Hit the ball all 3 times to shortstop. His one hit bounced right over Scott Ty's head. So Rudner's still on the mound with 1 out. He started it. He's been in here all the way for the props. Here's the first pitch coming up from Lutner to Romano. Curveball high and outside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Carmen Romano. Lutner again gets his sign. Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball ground to third base. Brian Giampetti fields, throws to Comagese at first, and Romano is retired for the second out of the inning. Score 5-3 for the second out, and that'll bring the plate Claude Petrocelli. Claude has grounded to short. He homered in the 4th and has flied to right field.
And that's the bottom of the lineup for the Pioneers.
Last batter.
Go, Jeff.
On deck, leadoff batter Glenn Merendino. 2 outs here in the 8th, all tied at 6. First pitch from Lutner. Fastball called strike. 1 strike to count to Claude Petrocelli. Lutner from the windup in the pitch. Fastball to the outside corner, strike 2. Lutner does have 2 strikeouts today, but 5 walks. Lutner from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the Props do end it on a good note, but William Patterson does score 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, all tied at 6.
And now we go back to Prof Field.
Yes, thank you very much. Norm Allen Cobb here in Prof Field, along with Tad Kosneski. Coming up to bat for the Props is Fred Bianculli, and he singled, and he went a base on balls that got driven in by Darren Comagese in the 5th inning, and the 6th inning, he struck out.
So where he's looking at a 2 for 3 on the day. Going to try and start it out here in the 8th inning. Once again, we're scheduled for 9 here in this first game. The second game is scheduled for 7. Glassboro trying to whoop it up there in the dugout. Get something started here. They need a run to take the lead, all tied at 6. The first pitch to him, curveball outside for a called strike. 1 strike to count to Fred Bianculli, the leadoff batter for the Props. Gag from the windup, the pitch, curveball just missing in the dirt, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bianculli, leading off the 8th inning. Gag gets his sign. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball foul down the right field line. So it's 1-2 to Fred Bianculli. One ball and 2 strikes. Nothing happening in the Prof bullpen right now.
Coming up after Fred Bianculli comes Mike York, number 44. He's gone around twice today.
Gag from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the third shortstop, Glenn Merendino. He fields and throws over. And Bianculli is out on a fine stretch by first baseman Jeff Kurtz. So we have 1 down here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Michael York. York has walked and scored, flied to right, reached base on an error and scored, and grounded out to second. That would make him 0 for 3 on the day. All right, here's the windup by Gag in the first pitch. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 1-0.
Mike York is the Props champion hitter, and he has 3 home runs this season so far.
There's the 1-0 pitch to him. Fastball called strike, 1-1.
Go, Mike.
1-1 on deck. 1-1 to Michael York. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped into center field. Coming in is Bruce Dostal, the center field. He calls and makes the easy play. And there's 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Now
That brings up Al Chicatello, designated hitter for the Profs. He's number 40, and what has he done so far today?
He singled, fly to center, reached base on an error, and has walked, scoring 2 runs on the day.
One for me.
So he comes to the plate with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball outside for a ball, 1-0.
Best thing he can do is just get on base, because right after him is Darren Comagese, the big killer for the Profs.
All right, here's the windup by Gag in his pitch. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 2-0 to Chicatello. Chicatello trying to be a base runner here for the Profs. Gag from the windup. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball outside, ball 3. 3-0 to Al Chicatello. Taken all the way here. Gag from the windup, the 3-0 pitch. Fastball outside, ball 4.
No swings that time.
That's the second walk given up by Gag thus far. And that brings the plate Darren Comagese. He's singled, knocked in a run. He's walked, singled, and knocked in 3 runs, excuse me. And then he has singled again, having a fine day. He's 3 for 3. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed, strike 1. 1 strike to Darren Comagese, the big first baseman for the Profs. Runner on first base is Chicatello. He walked. We're in the 8th, tied at 6. Here's the stretch by Gag and the pitch to Comagese. Fastball missing outside for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Darren Comagese, trying to put some runs on the board for the Profs. Once again, tied at 6 here in the 8th. The stretch by Gag and the pitch. Fastball, fouled back. 1-2. Gag let up a little bit on that pitch, trying to get Comagese to chase a bad pitch, and he did.
Comagese wants it. There's a nice big hole there between the shortstop and second baseman. Not really covered very well.
Yeah, they're playing him to pull second baseman well over towards the first base side. Here's a stretch by Gag and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Comagese goes down swinging. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the 9th inning, all tied at 6.
Alan Cobb back here at Prof Field along with Tad Kosneski. And the Profs are out in the field now. Starting off the top of the lineup for William Patterson is Glenn Marandino. He has gone around once in the first inning. He stole 2 bases in the second and the 4th inning. Second inning was base on balls. 4th inning was on a single. And in the 6th inning, he flew out. And he's up on base again, number 2.
So he's 1 for 3 on the day. He's going to start out the wild and wacky 9th inning here for Prof Field. Somebody's got to win it here in this first one. 9th inning, Jeff Lutner still on the mound. Here's Lutner's first pitch. Fastball outside for a ball, 1-0. You have to be very careful of Lutner out here. Don't want any problems. Here's Lutner coming from the windup, and here's the 1-0 pitch to Marandino. Fastball high and outside again, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Marandino. 9th inning from Prof Field, all tied at 6. Lutner with the 2-0 delivery. Outside again, ball 3. This is what the Profs don't need right here. We do have action in the bullpen. I think we still have Aaron up there. So we'll have to see the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Base on balls drawn by Marandino. And that'll bring the plate Bruce Dostal. Bruce has walked and scored. Infield fly out, walked, and grounded back out to the pitcher. I'd have to say you might look for a bunt here. Looking for the bunt as Dostal looks down at his third base coach for a sign. Across third baseman, Brian Giampetti, and here comes Coach Briglia, signals to the bullpen. We're going to have a pitching change here from Prof Field. It's going to be Aaron coming in for the Profs, and we shall return here in the 9th inning, all tied at 6.
And we're back to prop field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski. The props just had a pitching change. Ron Aaron is taking his practice pitches, and he's doing a pretty good job. And the... Excuse me there. Okay, now we thought that Jack Kelly might be coming in, but he is coming in for the second game probably. Also, the props have a full week of games, Monday through Saturday. They only have tomorrow off, and Monday through Saturday they're going to be playing constantly. So they do not want to wear out Jack Kelly. And he's taking his practice pitches, Ron Aaron that is, and he is doing a very good job at that. And reminding you, you're listening to WGLS FM Glassboro. As we're trying to pull up the props pitching stats, and we finally got them.
Oh my God!
And Tad, what do we have here on Ron Aaron?
Nothing.
Nothing. I think that's on the other side there. Here we go.
There you go. All right.
Top line.
The top one. Okay. Let's see. Ron Aaron has a 4.65 ERA, and his record is 4-0. He does have one save. So coming in here, the game is on the line. The man on first base, which walked Marandino, of course, is charged to Lutner. And coming to the plate is Bruce Dostal once again. Nobody out, ninth inning, tied at 6. 6-6, ninth inning. Looking for a bunt here, I'd have to say. Here's a stretch by Aaron. The pitch, no bunt on. Fastball taken inside for a ball, 1-0. Game's up for grabs here in the ninth, all tied at 6. 1 ball, no strikes to Bruce Dostal. Here's the stretch by reliever Aaron in the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 1. 1-1. Fine curveball shown by Aaron there. I'm still a little surprised that we don't see a bunt here with nobody out here in the ninth inning. We'll have to see the stretch by Aaron in the pitch. Fastball inside for a ball, 2-1.
Standing there on first base, Glenn Marandino. He has stolen 2 bases today. Very fast runner, and I'm looking for another steal for him. There's a possibility there.
He's going to have to be cautious, though, here in the ninth. Don't want to get thrown out stealing. Next pitch is inside, 3-1. 3 balls, and I can guarantee you if this guy walks here, we will see a bunt. 3-1 the count to Dostal. Relief pitcher Ron Aaron in. Here's his stretch and the 3-1 pitch. Fastball grounded in the hole. Base hit right field. Keith Lee Fields. Holding at second base is Marandino. And Bruce Dostal gets a single and putting runners at first and second with nobody out. Tony Lister to the plate. Tony has flied to left. Let me see here. He was put out unassisted by first baseman Darren Comagene, struck out and flied to left.
And there's a little bit of a conference over at the...
Okay, and we are going to have a pinch hitter now. And the pinch hitter is going to be number 12, Al Lopez. So we have number 12, Al Lopez, replacing Tony Listro. And I would be extremely shocked if I didn't see a bunt here.
This is probably the William Patterson bunting man.
Could be. So Lopez into the game, replacing Listro. All right, Aaron has his work cut out for him. First and second, nobody out. Ninth inning, tied at 6. Here's the stretch by Aaron and the pitch. Bunt. Foul and missed. We have a foul. All right, we have 1 strike the count to Al Lopez, pinch hitting for Tony Listro here in the ninth.
Marandino tried to take a run on that one very fast, as I can see him taking that little fake run to third base. Got to watch out for him. He's going to be taking a jump on anything that gets hit.
All right, well, I'm still looking for the bunt here with 1 strike. Signs being flashed by third base coach Bob Lauderham. Lopez steps back in. Aaron from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bunt still on. Takes it back for a ball. 1-1. First and second. Sign still being given. Still looking for the bunt here. 1-1.
Same sign.
Here's Aaron from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Bunt on. Held back. Called strike. Coach, a little disgust there. 1-2. Curveball caught Lopez by surprise. 1-2. Will he bunt on the third strike? We'll have to see here.
Slightly different sign there from the third base coach.
We'll have to see. Aaron from the stretch gets his sign. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's a big out here in the ninth. Going down swinging is pinch hitter Al Lopez. And that'll bring to the plate Mike Mildew. It's Mildew, yeah.
Mildew? Number 14, right fielder.
He has walked and scored in the first, flied out to the pitcher, singled, and flied out to right. I don't know if we're going to see a bunt here or not. Probably going to be swinging away. Aaron from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on and foul. 1 strike. That's a big out for the Profs. Al Lopez trying to sacrifice ends up striking out. Otherwise, right now, we'd be looking at runners at second and third with 1 out.
After Mike Milmo, he might get on base. We have Jeff Kurtz, man with the 3-run double in the first inning.
All right, Aaron ahead of the count, 1 strike. Here's a stretch, and his 0-1 pitch. Curveball missing outside, 1-1. 1-1 the count to Mike Milmo. William Patterson tied at 6 in the 9th inning. A stretch by Aaron in the pitch. Curveball foul down the left field side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Milmo. Big batter here for Aaron. 9th inning, Profs trying to keep it tied right here. Don't want to go in the bottom of the 9th trailing by anything.
A little bit worried because they only have 1 out here.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Aaron switches balls. He wants the one that was hit foul instead of the one the ref gave him, excuse me. Man, it is getting hot out here, folks. All right, a big pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Milmo. Here's Aaron's stretch. And the pitch. Fastball missing high and outside for a ball. It's 2-2.
Yes, and the sun is right now over the Prof dugout, which could cause little problems for any lefty batters here, because it is in my eyes, and I'm facing in that direction.
Here's the stretch by Aaron, the 2-2 pitch. Curveball grounded foul down the third baseline. Again, just hanging in there was Milmo. Tough pitch. 2-2. 1 out here in the 9th, all tied at 6. 2 home runs in for William Patterson, a home run by Claude Petroselli, the 9th batter. And we had a home run last inning by Frank Baker, the 3rd baseman, a 2-run homer that tied the game. Aaron wants a certain ball. He wants that ball that went foul again. I don't know. I guess it feels good or something. I don't know. He's going with that one, though. And he's set. Looking in for a sign with 1 out, 1st and 2nd. Here's the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. Curveball lined into left field. Should be caught. Michael York coming under it. He squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning. Big out. No runners advance on the play.
And that brings up Jeff Kurtz. And that could be a problem for the Profs because he is a big hitter. What has he done here?
All right, in the first inning, he had that bases loaded double that knocked in 3 runs. He's flied to the pitcher, singled, flied to left, and flied to right. Which, let's see, that would make him 2
and 2 for 4.
2 for 4 on the day. So Curran steps in there with 2 outs. 9th inning. The stretch by Aaron, the pitch. Curveball missing in the dirt, 1-0. Aaron has a fine curveball, and he's been using it in this 9th inning here. 1 ball and no strikes to Jeff Kurtz. Aaron stretches. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike 1.
Very nice curveball there.
1-1. Has the hitters guessing and stabbing at it. 1 ball and 1 strike. The stretch by Aaron. The pitch. Curve, grounded to second baseman beyond Cooley. He charges, picks it up, throws, and that's the 3rd out of the 9th inning. No damage done. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. If the Profs can score a run here, they can win it. They were tied at 6.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb here, along with Tad Kosneski. Coming up to bat for the Profs is Keith Lee. He's 0 for 4 today, and he's looking to do a little bit better as he leads off the Profs. He's the number 5 hitter. After him comes Scaramuzio, the right fielder, and then Brian Giampetti and Scott Ty.
If the Profs score a run, this game is over. We're tied at 6. The first pitch is lined down the left field line, curving foul. Alan Lopez, the left fielder, going for it, just makes the play inside the fence. Nice play by Al Lopez, running into foul territory in the left field corner. So Lee flies out for the first out of the inning, and that will bring to the plate Frank Scaramuzzo. Frank has batted once this game, and he has walked. 1 swing of the bat could end it here. And I'm sure pitcher Mike Gagg knows all about Scaramuzzo. Scaramuzzo's just standing out of the box, staring at the pitcher. Steps in. 9th inning, tied at 6. The windup by Gagg at the pitch. Curveball, missed. Strike. 1 strike to Scaramuzzo.
The crowd is really getting up here, as are the men in the Prof dugout.
Curve missing outside, 1-1. Profs looking for a base runner here. 1 ball and 1 strike. 9th inning, 1 out. Here's Gagg's windup in the pitch. Curveball missing in the dirt, 2-1. Big game for both teams. Both teams leading their respective divisions. Glassboro leading the South, William Patterson leading the North.
Civil War.
Gagg, that's right. Gagg from the windup in the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2-2. Half-hearted cut by Scaramuzzo was fooled on that one.
Scaramuzzo is a big hitter for the Profs. He has 3 home runs, and they're looking for another one today.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Frank Scaramuzzo. 1 out here in the 9th. Reliever Mike Gagg with the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball missing outside. Ball 3. 3-2. Gagg has 4 strikeouts here since he's come into the game. Trying to add to his totals here. Full count to Scaramuzzo with 1 down. Full count. Gagg gets his sign from the windup, the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Scaramuzzo was fooled.
Very close. Looked like a ball to me, too.
That's 2 outs. Scaramuzzo thought it was a ball. He was watching it, but awfully close to be taking in defense of the pitcher there. Strike 3, and that'll bring to the plate
Brian Giampetti.
Giampetti has grounded to second, flied on the infield to third base, flied to left, and singled in the 7th. 2 outs here in the 9th. We're staring at extra innings here, folks. Here's the windup by Gagg in the pitch. Fastball missing outside for a ball, 1-0.
Bright sun today. Temperatures around 70 degrees in Glassboro.
Here's the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Curveball missing inside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Brian Giampetti. 2 outs in the 9th. We're tied at 6. Here's Gagg's windup and the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. 2-1.
They're getting close again.
2 balls and 1 strike.
And getting ready for the props is Scott Ty, number 8.
Gags wind up the 2-1 pitch. Fastball popped foul down the left field line. 2-2. 2-2 to Giampetti. Mike Gag pretty much doing his job, coming in relief here. He came in the 7th inning and is not allowed a run yet. 2-2 to Brian Giampetti. Once again, 9th inning, tied 6-6. Gag steps back on the mound. Here's his sign. The windup of the 2-2 pitch. Fastball grounded to second baseman Claude Petroselli. He gloves, throws, and we're going extra innings. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll be coming back with the 10th inning. We're all tied at 6.
And we're back at Prop Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski as we go to the 10th inning of a tie game, 6-6. The props out in the field. William Patterson at bat, starting off with Frank Barker. He is 1 for 4 in the game.
With a home run.
With a home run. That's a big one for him. Coming up after him, John Wilson, Carmine Romano, and the bottom of the lineup, Claude Petroselli.
We're in the 10th inning here from Prop Field. We are tied at 6. William Patterson came out with 3 runs in the first. Glassboro returned with 1. They led 3-1. Prop's beginning was the 5th where they took the lead, and now we're tied at 6. First pitch by Aaron is a curveball, missing ball 1.
Now William Patterson dugout is talking it up quite a bit over to my right.
That's the first we've heard of them today.
They're very loud now.
Relief pitcher Aaron's wind up in the pitch. Grounded to shortstop. Scott Ty plays, fields and throws, and there's one out here at the 10th. Scott Ty got the nice big bounce there for an easy play, and Frank Barker is retired. And that'll bring to the plate John Wilson, the DH. John has walked, grounded to third twice, and flied to center field. So he is 0 for 3 on the day. 1 down, 10th inning, 6-6. Ron Aaron relieving Jeff Lutner. The pitch. Curveball missing in the dirt, 1-0.
Aaron's doing a pretty fair job now. I can't put him down. He's been holding them off pretty much.
Here's Aaron from the windup in the 1-0 pitch. Curveball just missing outside, 1-1. I even marked that as a strike down here. No, but it's not. 2-0 to him. Aaron again gets his sign. His 2-0 delivery. Fastball high and inside, ball 3. 3-0 to John Wilson.
Don't forget, this is a doubleheader coming back here later on after this game, 7-inning game after that, with Matt Santos and Tad Kosneski.
It's a great one. 3-0 pitch. Strike 3 called. Wilson did not think so, but it is a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the windup by Aaron in 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. Fastball in the outside corner. Wilson is upset at the plate. Full count, 1 out here in the 10th. Aaron from the windup. Here's his full count pitch. Curveball just missing outside, and Wilson draws a base on balls. That'll bring the play Carmine Romano. Carmine is grounded to short twice, singled and grounded to third. He's 1 for 4 on the day. The runner on first base is Wilson. He walks.
No, it is not. We have a courtesy runner, number 18, Charlie Vellis.
Okay, so he's in there. The courtesy runner batting for the, well, he will be batting, he's running for the DH then. That isn't a courtesy runner, because Wilson was the DH.
Okay.
So Vellis then is on first. back to first. He dives in safely. 1 out here in the 10th. Ron Aaron on the mound in relief for Jeff Lutner. It's Aaron's game to win or lose. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Curveball, line to third, caught by Giampetti, throws to first, double play. What a big play for the Props. We go into the bottom of the 10th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 10th, tied at 6.
3 p.m. and we're back. And the Props are taking up their bats, trying to end this game, which is tied 6-6. After a beautiful end to a beautiful top of the 10th inning, we're hoping that this game doesn't go much further than 10 innings. Our books only go up to 10 innings here. And Scott Ty is up, and he is 1 for 4 in this game.
He singled back in the 6th inning, struck out twice, and flied to right. Trying to get something started here in the 10th for the Props. Mike Gagg on the mound in relief for Jim Daly. Here's his windup in his first pitch. Line into right field, fair or foul, curving foul down the right field line. 1 strike.
That hits the right field fence, and that brings up the bottom of the lineup, Seb Balistreri.
That's a foul.
I'm sorry.
Now. That's a foul. 1 strike. Don't get all excited. 1 strike.
Well, he'll be up next.
Yeah, 1 strike to count to Scott Ty. Lined it down the right field line. Foul by about 15 feet. As the ball is retrieved. Props trying to get something started here in the bottom of the 10th. We're tied at 6. 1 strike to Ty. Here's his pitch. Line base hit left field. Props start out the bottom of the 10th with a base hit by Scott Ty. And that'll bring the plate. Well, we may have a pinch hitter here. Bologna's scheduled to bat. And it looks like he will bat.
Joe Bologna for the Props. He is a righty, sophomore, 5'9", 170 pounds from St. John High School in PA, Philadelphia.
Coach Briglia giving him some instructions on what he wants him to do when he comes up to the plate. And
a little conference out on the mound also.
So this is a big, big play here. We should be seeing a bunt coming down here.
And it looks like we have a new pitcher here for the... Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that is correct. George Sticks comes in to pitch.
Number 15.
For William Patterson, replacing Mike Gagg.
He's a righty and he's a senior.
George Sticks in for Mike Gagg, who relieved Jim Daly, the starter. So Sticks out there taking his warm-ups here. We're in the bottom of the 10th inning. We're tied at 6. Scott Ty has led off the 10th inning. He has singled. He's on first base. On deck is Joe Bologna. We should see a bunt from Joe. All right, let's see. George Sticks on the year is 4-1, an ERA of 3.42. He has 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's given up 11 runs, 9 of them earned. He's giving up 22 hits in 23 2/3 innings of pitching. And once again, the first battle that he is going to face is Joe Bologna for the Props. Bologna has no batting average as of yet. He does have 1 run batted in. And he has, I believe he's only played in 2 games. He's played in 6 games. Just coming in as he did today as a defensive replacement late in the game. But he is going to come up to hit here, and you'd have to bet on a bunt here, a sacrifice bunt.
He's coming in for Sebastian Balistreri.
All right, just to recap here, we're in the 10th inning, the bottom of the 10th, tied at 6. Scott Ty on first base, nobody out. Joe Bologna up the plate, relief pitcher George Sticks on the mound for William Patterson.
I'll start hitting and yelling again.
All right, Sticks coming from the stretch. Ty takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Bunt on. Bunted back to the pitcher. Sticks fields. Has 1 play to first. Makes the play. There's a collision. We have a fight here. Second baseman in on the play, Claude Petroselli. The benches have cleared. Everybody's charging out there, but it's been broken up.
It seems that the second baseman grabbed the ball and he and he tagged the base, and Joe Bologna tagged him with a nice bash right in, and he wanted to get back at that one.
They both went at it down at first base.
And it was the Prof's third base coach that broke that up by holding off Joe Bologna, by holding off the second baseman, Claude Petroselli. Joe Bologna wasn't going to continue on that, but now the umpires are out there, and there's a little bit of a discussion there. The Profs are going back to their bench, and there is a man down there. So
Bologna is down. Bologna is down.
It is Bologna who is down.
The trainers are looking at him.
It wasn't out there, I believe.
We're still waiting for a ruling. I wish I could tell you. I'm waiting for a call by the umpire. Yeah, Bologna's coming back to the dugout, so I guess he has been ruled out. Bologna's yelling into the dugout of William Patterson.
He seems to be okay, going on his own 2 feet.
So he goes back to the dugout. That's Bologna. The runner does move to second base on the sacrifice. That's Scott Ty. Bologna is out for the first out of the inning on the sacrifice. And Fred Bianculli is on deck, the leadoff batter for the Profs. Still a lot of business going on. The umpires are still talking to some players, talking to second baseman Claude Petroselli, who just went after Joe Bologna. Petroselli, when he caught the ball, was standing right on top of first base, and Bologna had nothing else to do but just run right over him, and that's just what he did.
And a little bit of a discussion out there. The coach for William Patterson with a little arm over the shoulder of the second baseman, giving him a little coach-to-player talk about etiquette, I would say.
All right, that brings the plate Fred Bianculli as we straighten everything out. Fred has 2 singles, a walk, a sacrifice fly, and he's grounded out to shortstop. Should he get a decent hit here, the Profs can win it. Man on second base is Scott Ty. We have 1 out. 10th inning, tied at 6. And we have Coach Briglia arguing with the umpire, saying the guy should be thrown out of the game for starting the fight. But we're having no response yet by the umpire. Just having a little discussion behind home plate.
And the outfield, the field umpire is definitely overruling that, saying that
Let's see if we can hear what they're saying. Briglia says the second baseman should be thrown out. The second base umpire says he doesn't agree. He just thought it was incidental contact, even though Petroselli practically attacked Bologna. As we're still having a discussion here.
We're trying to pick up what they're saying on the field with our field microphone here at Prof Field.
Both coaches having a talk with the umpire. Still warming up is George Sticks, the reliever. So a lot going on here in the 10th inning. A lot of excitement. As you can tell, this game does mean a lot.
Does not look like Coach Briglia got what he wanted, because the second baseman is still out there, Claude Petroselli.
Once again, Bianculli to the plate. He's 2 for 4 in the day. Runner on second base, Scott Ty, 1 out, bottom of the 10th, tied at 6. Relief pitcher George Sticks on the mound. And we have an intentional pass given to Bianculli. No pitches need to be thrown. He's automatically given the walk and sent to first base. And that will bring to the plate Michael York. York having a tough game. York has walked, flied to right, reached base on an error, grounded to short, and flied to center. First and second, 1 out. 10th inning. George Sticks from the stretch. The pitch to York. Curveball high and inside for a ball, 1-0.
The Profs are up and yelling.
Everybody on their feet here at Prof Field. First and second, 1 out, 10th inning. The stretch by Sticks. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. York trying to pull the ball. Might not be the wise thing to do in this situation. He's tried to go to right field, hopefully advance the runners. But I'm not the batter. Stick gets his sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch to York. Fastball called for a strike, 1-2. And the catcher, Carmen Romano, goes out to talk to the pitcher, George Sticks. A little conversation. York is a dangerous batter. It's 1-2 to him.
He hasn't shown his stuff to the fullest today, but he could be the game ender.
York is capable of a lot here. Hasn't done too much today. Had a rough day. It's 1-2 to him. First and second with one out. York steps back in. Sticks gets his sign. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. York goes down swinging. That's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up to the plate Alan Chicatello, number 40. Alan has singled, signed to center, reached base on an error, walked again, scored 2 runs on the day. So Al Chicatello in the position to be a hero. First and second, 2 outs. 10th inning, tied at 6.
Props still looking to end the game here. They got another game they got to go to. They don't want to go to the 11th inning.
All right, Sticks with the sign from the stretch. The pitch to Chicatello. Fastball called strike. 1 strike to Al Chicatello. Chicatello with 1 strike to him. First and second, 1 out. The stretch. The pitch. Curveball missing inside, 1-1.
It might sound a little bit early to be talking about it now, but if this does go to 11 innings, it is 10 after 3. You're looking at darkness call for the second game if it goes long also.
1-1. Al Chicatello. Here's the stretch by Sticks. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball high and inside for a ball. 2-1. On deck is the big man for the Props today, Darren Comegys, with 3 hits in 4 attempts at plate.
Comegys definitely the man of the day for the Props.
2-1 pitch. Curveball missing inside. Ball 3-1 to Al Chicatello. A walk here would load the bases for Comegys.
And that is something that the Props would love to see. Comegys is the man who can send them all in.
Chicatello steps in. Sticks gets his side, steps off the mound. Big pitch for Sticks out here. Chicatello back in the box. Sticks gets his sign. From the stretch, the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up in the infield. The catcher, Carmen Romano, calls. He squeezes it for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the top of the 11th inning, all tied at 6.
And we're back at Prop Field. Alan Cobb with Tad Kosneski. And we're going to an 11th inning, top of the 11th, as the Props. Ron Aaron is taking a little practice pitch. And starting for the William Patterson Pioneers is who, Tad?
Claude Petroselli. He's grounded to short, hit a home run in the 4th, fly to right, and struck out. So he's starting things off here in the 11th inning from Prop Field, all tied at 6. Big game. Both teams lead their respective divisions. Glassboro from the south. William Patterson leads the north.
And this is the 3rd inning in a row. It's 2 innings so far that the teams have been tied. We're not looking for another one. The Props are a little bit worried, I'd say. Both teams are worried.
Aaron's first pitch, lined to the left center field for a base hit. Scaramuzzo just knocks it down in time. Holding at first base with the single is Claude Petroselli, leading off the 1st inning, or the 11th inning. Oh boy.
Playing a doubleheader, you don't like going to the extra innings in the first game.
All right, that'll bring the plate leadoff batter Glenn Marandino. Reached base on an error in the 1st, walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and flied out on an infield fly to the shortstop in the 6th. He's also walked in the 9th. Man at first base, top of the 11th, tied at 6. Nobody out. The first pitch around the bunt. Bunted foul, out of play. 1 strike to count to Glenn Marandino.
And that ball was popped up, and the catcher was trying to get it, but he kind of lost it in the sun, which is very, very bright over the left field.
So Standing back in there is Marandino, man on first base. 1 strike to him. The stretch by Aaron. Around the bunt, the pitch, bunted foul again. 2 strikes to Marandino. This is what hurt the William Patterson team back in the 10th inning. They had man on first and second, tried to get a bunt, ended up getting a strikeout, and they ended up scoring no runs in the inning. They're in the same position right now. Ron Aaron on the mound in relief of Jeff Lutner. The runner on first base is Claude Petroselli. He singled. Here's the stretch by Aaron. The pitch. Curveball. Just missing. Oh, was that close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Petroselli was completely fooled. Completely fooled. 1 and 2. Just missing. Here's the stretch by Aaron and the pitch. Another foul down the right field line. 1 and 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Glenn Marandino, facing Ron Aaron here in the 11th. Once again, runner at first base, nobody out. 1 and 2. Here's the stretch by Aaron and the pitch. Curveball into right field. Coming in is Keith Lee. Lee's under it. Makes the play for the first out of the inning. So we have 1 down here in the 11th, and that will bring to the plate Bruce Dossel. Bruce has walked and scored in the first, flied to third base, walked, grounded back to the pitcher, and singled. So he comes in here with 1 out, and Claude Petroselli on first base. Ron Aaron on the mound once again in relief for Lutner. Here's a stretch by Aaron. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Runner going, throw down to second base. Not in time. Stolen base for Claude Petroselli. Delayed steal there. Made it down to second base.
It looked very, very close, but the throw was a little bit too slow, I'd say.
Caught Bologna a little off guard there. Runner on second base now with 1 out. We're in the 11th. Ron Aaron on the mound. From the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Bruce Dostal. Dostal trying to make some contact. Hasn't been able to do it yet. Here's Aaron's stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball line into center field. It's going to fall for a hit. Scaramucci grabs it on 1 hop. We may have a play to plate. The throw coming around and scoring safely. The runner scores from second base. Claude Petroselli scores a single and an RBI given to Bruce Dostal. And William Patterson takes the lead here in the 11th, 7-6.
That was a big hit. Blooped out, landed okay in the field, and very close play at the plate. Joe Bologna, next roommate of mine, at the plate, thought it was okay, thought he had him, and it wasn't close. It was just close.
Just missed him there. All right, so now Dostal moves down to second base on the throw to the plate, and that'll bring to the plate Al Lopez, a pinch hitter, who pinch hit in the 9th inning for William Patterson.
And the Props in a little bit of trouble now.
Here's Aaron from the stretch in his first pitch. High and inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Al Lopez. Al struck out the first time he came to the plate. He was the man who tried to sacrifice and could not sacrifice and ended up striking out, killing the inning. Aaron once again from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Curve swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Al Lopez. Swung at a bad pitch there as the wind starts to kick up here. It's the first we've seen the wind in about 6 innings.
That could cause some problems also a little bit later on when we get to throws.
All right, here's a stretch by Aaron. His 1-1 delivery. Fastball missing high and inside for a ball, 2-1. 2-1 2-1 to Al Lopez. 7-6 lead, William Patterson. We're in the top of the 11th. 2 balls and 1 strike to Al Lopez. The stretch by Aaron. The pitch. Fastball. What was that called now? 3 balls and 1 strike. That was called a ball to Lopez. Just missing outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Al Lopez. The prop dugout thought it was called a strike. They're on the umpire again. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Hey, 3-1 now.
Aaron from the stretch. His pitch. Fastball foul back out of play. Count moves to full count. Runner on second base is Bruce Dostal. He singled in Claude Petroselli. William Patterson leads it 7-6 in the 11th.
That's the top of the 11th, so the props do get their last licks, right?
That is correct. 1 out. 3-2 to Al Lopez. Aaron looks in, stretches. The 3-2 pitch. Lined into right field, falls for a base hit inside for Keith Lee. The runner will have to hold at third base on the wild throw. Block. And confused me there. Keith Lee fielded the ball in right field, threw to the catcher Baloney without a cut. Baloney threw it to third base to try and get Bruce Dostal, and on that play, alertly, Al Lopez moves up to second base on his single. So we have second and third. 1 out here in the 11th inning. A disappointing 11th inning for the props.
Loney's playing a very active game. He came in for Seb Balestreri, and I'm afraid Balestreri, he threw a couple of wild throws out to second base. I think it was a smart move putting in Baloney at this point.
That'll bring the plate Mike Milmo. He's walked and scored, flied to the pitcher, singled, flied to right, and flied to left. Second and third, the infield in tight. They want to knock down the run. The first pitch, ball outside. Infield in tight. Any kind of a line drive through them scores a run. Everybody in on the grass. 1 ball and no strike to count to Mike Milmo.
A little conference going on between Mike Milmo and the third base coach for the Pioneers. And the umpire's going on. It's taking a little bit of a while. The umpire's wondering what's taking so long. But here's Milmo. He's coming up to bat. And Ron Aaron is getting ready for the next pitch. And this is
once again, we're in the first game of 2 here from Prop Field. Both teams in their respective first place in each division. The stretch by Aaron, the 1-0 pitch. Line down the left field line, but foul. Hooking, but just foul. 1-1. Mike Milmo lines it just foul.
almost cut off Lopez's head there.
Milmo looking for his sign. Second and third. 1 out. The stretch by Aaron. The pitch. Curveball fouled off the plate and back to the prop dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Milmo.
That's 4 on the walk. Both your heads.
Mike Milmo, 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. We're in the top of the 11th. William Patterson leads it 7-6, scoring 1 run in this inning. Second and third, the stretch by Aaron, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3 at a curveball, and Milmo goes down swinging. That's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring to the plate number 11, Jeff Kurtz. Kurtz had a big at bat in the first inning. He doubled in 3 runs. Then he grounded to second, flied to first baseman, singled and scored a run in the 8th, and in the 9th he grounded to second. So he comes up to the plate with 2 outs, second and third. Aaron from the windup. Here's his first pitch. Fastball called, strike to Kurtz. Kurtz didn't like it, thought it was a little upstairs.
After Kurtz comes up Frank Barber. He had a 2-run homer back a couple of innings ago. 2 men the props are worried about.
Here's the 0-1 pitch by Aaron. Curveball grounded to third. Giampetti bobbles, fields, throws, and that's the third out of the inning. But William Patterson does score 1 run on 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 man left. We're going in the bottom of the 11th. If Glassboro doesn't score 1 to tie it, they're in trouble.
And WGLS-FM back to Prof Field.
Thanks a lot, Norm. Alan Cobb here at Prof Field along with Tad Kosneski. Huge crowd here at Prof Field watching the bottom of the 11th inning action as the Profs go up to bat. And this is their last chance, their last licks here as Darren Comegys, the Profs' hero of the game today. He has an RBI. He has a single that drove in 3 off of a 2-base error back in, I believe, the 5th inning. And the Profs are looking for him to tie up the game. He might be able to do that here.
All right, scheduled to hit will be Comegys, Lee, Scaramuzzo, and Giampetti. Once again, they are scheduled. Nothing is definite here. Bottom of the 11th, Profs down 1 run. Need a run to tie. The windup by Sticks in the pitch. Swung on and missed by Comegys, strike 1.
I can feel the breeze from that swing. He is really trying to send this one out of here.
Darren Comegys, 1 strike to him. Here's his next pitch. Curveball popped into short left field. It might fall. Coming in is Al Lopez. Bobbles it and drops it. It's going to be an error. And on first base is Darren Comegys. The left fielder Al Lopez tried to one-handed, closed his glove too early and bobbled it out and dropped it.
But Comegys did not get a chance to go to second base on that one. He plays it safe, stays at first, and that brings up
pinch hitter Jack Swain, number 42, will be batting for Keith Lee. Jack Swain, number 42, is now going back to the dugout. And it's not going to be Jack Swain now.
We're not sure of anything right now.
Keith Lee is still there. Hasn't taken off his helmet yet. Who are we going to see here?
We have a courtesy runner, it seems. Rick Bombera, number 15 for the Profs.
He will go and run for Darren Comegys. So Rick Bombera runs, and Keith Lee will bat. Repeat, Keith Lee will bat. So the big error by the left fielder, Al Lopez, puts the runner on first base with nobody out. Keith Lee to the plate. Profs need a run to tie. We're in the 11th. On the mound is George Sticks. That's got to burst the bubble for William Patterson. They got to be upset with that last play. That's like an extra out for the Profs. The stretch, bunt tries, missed by Lee.
Rick Bombera's taking very big lead on that one. He's a very fast, small man as opposed to the man he's taking over for, Darren Comegys. Rick Bombera is a very small, very quick guy, and he's taking a big lead to prove it.
So Lee was out there to bunt and missed it on the first pitch. Here's the stretch by Sticks. The next pitch, Lee around the bunt. Pitch out, runner going, throw not in time. Bombera steals the base. A big steal.
Throw is high to the shortstop, cut off by the second baseman, and Lee is here again, and we have a man on second base, and the Profs, that was a very, very dangerous run.
Bombera was very quick on that play. The pitch out was on, and he still made it in plenty of time. So Bombera's on second, Lee's to the plate, 1-1 to him.
The Profs can't risk an out. That was an amazing
stretch by Sticks, the pitch, around the bunt again, bunted to third baseman, Barker fields, 1 play to first, gets the play. Moving down to third base, though, is Rick Bombera on the sacrifice. So credit Keith Lee with the sacrifice. It's the first out of the inning, and that will bring to the plate big Frank Scaramuzzo. All Frank needs is a sacrifice fly to tie this game.
90 feet away, Rick Bombera on third base. He's complaining about something wrong with the third base bag.
So a good job done by Keith Lee to put the sacrifice down. Perfect bunt right to third baseman Frank Barker. Exactly what they needed. The Profs are in good position to score here with 1 down. And big Frank Scaramuzzo to the plate.
Frank Scaramuzzo with 3 home runs this season. He leads the Profs along with Mike York for home runs.
So Frank's going to step in. I'm sure they will pitch careful to Frank. On deck is Brian Giampetti for the Profs. We're in the 11th inning. William Patterson leads it 7-6. Profs, if they can get in this run with Rick Bombera, will tie it. Here's the stretch by Sticks, the pitch to Scaramuzzo. Curveball just missing inside, ball 1. 1-0 to Frank Scaramuzzo. Scaramuzzo stepping in. 1 ball to him. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1, 1-1. Big downtown cut by Scaramuzzo on that one. No contact. 1 ball, 1 strike to Frank Scaramuzzo. Runner on third base is Rick Bombera. Here's the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 2. Scaramuzzo's taking his cuts. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Profs are up, but they're quiet. They're on their feet, but they're very quiet now, surprisingly.
All they need is a fly ball, and they can possibly tie the game. The stretch by Sticks. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball just missing outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Frank Scaramuzzo.
Walking on a thin line here.
11th inning. William Patterson leading 7-6. The stretch by Sticks is the 2-2 pitch. Outside, gets by the catcher. Coming in, Bombera. The throw by the catcher. Wait a second, he missed the ball. The ump signaled out, but now he's full safe because the catcher missed the ball. Safe. He's full safe, and we are tied.
It must be safe because the catcher threw to George Sticks.
Hold it right up.
Sticks, it appeared that the ump caught the ball, but in actuality he missed it, and it bobbled over towards the first base,
And that makes it safe, and the Profs are tied.
Sticks tugged Bombera, but did not have the ball in his glove, and the ump thought so and called him out. But when he realized the ball was sitting out in front of pitcher's mound, called him safe. So a wild pitch on pitcher George Sticks, and we are all tied at 7 in the 11th inning.
This could go to 12.
Amazing.
Frank Scaramuzzo's still up though, and he's a big hitter. He could drive himself in here.
It's 3-2 to him. Here's the windup by Sticks in the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Scaramuzzo goes down swinging. That's the second out of the inning.
Brings up Brian G.M. Petty. And how's Brian done this year?
Brian has grounded to second. He's flied to the third baseman, flied to the left fielder, singled in the 7th, and in the 9th inning grounded to second base.
2 for 5.
2 outs here in the 11th. The Profs have tied it with 1 run. We're tied at 7. G. Petty stepping in. The windup in the pitch. Fastball called strike. 1 strike to Brian G. Petty. Here's the windup by Sticks in the pitch. Fastball missing inside for a ball, 1-1. Everybody is into the game now. Tied at 7, bottom of the 11th inning, 2 outs in the Profs' 11th inning. Brian G. Petty's 1-1 pitch. Curveball popped up in the infield. Claude Petroselli under it, squeezes it, and we're going to the 12th. There was 1 run on no hits. There was 1 big error, the wild pitch, and nobody left on base. We go to the top of the 12th, all tied at 7.
Thanks a lot, Norm. Allen Cobb here at Prof Field. And the Profs are out on the field as again the William Patterson Pioneers take their bats up and they begin the 12th inning. Amazing day of baseball so far, and we haven't even finished the first game yet of a doubleheader. They've signed up for a minimum of 19 innings here, and the score is tied 7 up.
William Patterson, 7 runs, 11 hits. Let me see what this Glassboro have here. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits and 7 runs.
Starting for William Patterson's Frank Barker. Now, he had a 2-run homer back in the 8th inning?
Yes, it was the 8th inning. That's what tied it at 6-6 at the time, and now we're tied at 7 in the 12th. Ron Aaron with his windup and the pitch. Curveball missing outside for a ball, 1-0.
Scheduled after Barker is John Wilson, Carmine Romano, and Claude Petroselli, but we can't even be sure of that now as they get ready for the 1-0 pitch.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Barker. Curve swung on and missed, 1-1. Beautiful day for baseball here at Prof Field. Oh, what a game the fans are seeing today. The battle of first place teams tied here in the 12th. Aaron from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 2. 1-2 the count. It'll Frank Barker. Once again, we're in the 12th. We were tied going into the 10th. Nobody scored. Each team scored a run in the 11th, and here we are in the 12th. The pitch by Aaron. Curveball, grounded third baseman Giampetti. He bobbles, and reaching base safely is going to be Frank Barker. It's going to be an error. Even though it was a tough play, it's going to be an error on third baseman Brian Giampetti, and that will bring to the plate a pinch hitter. We're waiting for him to exit the dugout here. I'll try and identify him for you.
Not even sure that William Patterson knows who's going to hit yet.
Okay, it's going to be number 31, Tom Younghands, excuse me.
Yes, he's a right-hander from Old Tappan, New Jersey, 5'11", 190 pounds. Big man, not a tall man, but he's very muscular.
So Younghands is going to come in to bat for John Wilson. Once again on first base is Frank Barker. He reached base on the error by third baseman Brian Giampetti. We're in the 12th. Once again, this is also a doubleheader. The second game will be broadcast on WGLS-FM. If it's anything near this game, you'll want to listen.
And you'll want to come out here to Prof Field on the campus of Glassboro State College. You'll be joining a large crowd who are really enjoying this game, and I don't think anyone's going to leave because that second game's got to be exciting as well.
Okay, Barker's on first. Younghands in pinch hitting. Aaron from the stretch. Ground the bunt. The bunt is down. Fielded by the pitcher Aaron. One play to first. Makes the play. Moving on to second base is Frank Barker. So Barker makes it on to second base on the sacrifice by Younghands. We have one out, and that will bring to the plate number 28, Carmine Romano. He's grounded to short twice, singled, grounded to third, and got a double play ending the 10th inning. Having a tough day, one hit on the day in 5 at-bats. One out. The runner on second base is Frank Barker. Aaron looking in, gets his sign from the stretch. Here's his first pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 1 to Carmine Romano. Carmine Romano having a rough day today. Hit everything on the ground thus far. Aaron once again with the sign.
And the big question here,
Prof Field. 1 pitch. Ground ball hit right at second baseman, caught in the air by Fred Bianculli. Steps on second base for the third out. So grounding into another double play is Carmen Romano. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go in the bottom of 12. We're all tied at 7.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski. An amazing game here. This is the bottom of the 12th inning. Score tied 7-7. The Profs at bat, starting with Scott Ty, who is 2 for 5 in this game. After him comes supposed to be Joe Bologna for the bottom of the lineup.
We may see a pinch hitter. We're not sure, but he is in the on-deck circle. We'll just have to see. George Stick still in the ball game as reliever for William Patterson. His first pitch, bunted on, a beautiful bunt, and a base hit for Scott Ty on the bunt single, starting out the 12th inning.
No one there to throw to at first base. That's a beautiful way to start an inning. And the Profs are on base on the first pitches, for that matter, bringing up Bologna will bat. Joe Bologna for the bottom of the lineup. Joe Bologna, let's see, what has he done?
He struck out and sacrificed bunted his last time up. Beautiful bunt his last time. I'm sure we're going to be seeing the bunt here again, tied at 7 in the bottom of the 12th inning.
Bologna
stepping in there. Here's a stretch around the bunt, the pitch, bunted foul. High pitch, might have been a ball, bunted foul. Bologna's a little upset with himself.
So far till today, he has had no hits, but he has had 1 RBI until today.
And he still has no hits, but he had sacrifice, and that was a big sacrifice. He'll probably be around again. Here's the stretch by Sticks. Looks at Ty, around pitch out. Nothing on.
Looked like the ball was going towards first base, but they saved it, and the man on first base, Scott Ty, got back. 1-1
the count to Joe Bologna. Looking for the bunt again is William Patterson. He's around the bunt, the pitch. The bunt is down, fielded by the pitcher. 1 play to first. They get the out. Moving down the second base on the sacrifice is Scott Ty. Another good job on the sacrifice done by Joe Bologna, and of course that will bring up our leadoff batter, Fred Bianculli. Fred has singled in the first, singled in the second, walked in the fifth, sacrificed in the sixth, grounded to short in the eighth, and walked in the 10th.
Excellent day for Fred Bianculli.
Making himself 2 for 3 on the day, and once again Bianculli draws another intentional pass.
Doesn't even have to be pitched on, and that brings up Mike York.
And here York has walked in the first and scored. Fly to right, reached base on an error, grounded to second, flied out in the 8th to the right field, and struck out in the 10th. First and second, 1 out. The stretch, the pitch. Swung on and missed by York. That's all they throw York is curveballs in the outside corner, and he offers at him. 1 strike to Michael York. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the 12th, tied at 7. The stretch by Sticks. The pitch. Curveball, swung on and missed. Runner stealing, heading for third. He's out by a mile. I don't understand that one. Stealing from third base was Scott Ty, nailed at third base. And moving up to second base was Bianculli, following the steal alertly, so it's not a complete damage for the props here. I have trouble understanding that one. He was out by a mile.
Shouldn't even been tried.
And there's 2 strikes to Michael York. The stretch by Sticks, the pitch. Curveball outside, 1 and 2. Well, a very unusual day. Just about everything. We've had a bench-clearing brawl in this game. You name it, we've had it here today. 1 and 2 is the count to Michael York.
And this timeout as the coach of
Jeff Albee is out to the mound to talk to his pitcher.
Okay, Jeff Albee. I don't think they're going to get a new pitcher in here. He's been doing pretty fair.
He just doesn't want to have any mistakes made on Michael York here. Michael York has been chasing the curveball in the outside corner ever since Sticks has been in the ball game. He struck him out once already the one time he faced him. I think the coach is afraid he's going to try and change it up and throw a fastball, and he's afraid York might send it downtown to end this game.
That would happen. Mike York is a winning hitter for the props. He's been featured in the WIT a number of times for his fantastic hitting and his 3 home runs up to now.
Like you said, the ever-dangerous Mike York steps in. George Sticks, after the instructions from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on the curve, strike 3. York goes down. For the 3rd out of the inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go into the top of the 13th. That's right, the 13th. We're all tied at 7.
And we're back at Prop Field. Alan Cobb with Tad Kosneski as William Patterson's Pioneers come up to bat again in the top of the 13th inning. And now they're going a minimum of 20 innings of baseball today. If you want to see some great ball, you come out here to Prop Field because we have an amazing game here. And starting up for the William Patterson Pioneers is Claude Petrocelli, and he hit a homer in the 4th inning. He singled in the 10th or 11th inning. I'm losing track of this. Our books only go up to 11th. We're kind of writing in the margins now. He looks like he's 2 for 6, 2 for 5, 2 for 6.
All right, here's Aaron. He's ready to pitch to him. Once again, we're in the 13th. The first pitch, curveball in the dirt, ball 1.
Maloney is a very fast, very active catcher, and he was right in front of that one. There's no chance of getting away from him.
Exciting ball game here, the battle of first place clubs. each from their respective divisions. Couldn't ask for a better game. The next pitch, curveball, pop, foul out of play, 1-1.
And another lucky fan out there behind the William Patterson dugout.
Makes the play, excuse me.
I'll go right ahead. And coming up to bat is...
On deck, that is.
On deck is Glenn Marandino, and he had 2 steals so far this game. That's been his big thing.
All right, Petroselli steps back in there. We're in the 13th. The windup by Aaron, the pitch. Grounded number, foul down the right field foul line. 1-2 to Claude Petroselli. Exciting ball game. If you just join us, William Patterson scored 3 in the top of the first. Glassboro scored 1. In the 4th, William Patterson scored 1. In the 5th, Glassboro scored 4 to take the lead. In the 7th, William Patterson tied it. In the 8th, Glassboro scored 2, but went to extra innings, and we both scored a run in the 11th, and since then we haven't seen anything. We're in the 13th. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Claude Petroselli. Here's the windup by Aaron in the 2-2 pitch. Fastball right up the middle. Nice play, Scott Tye. Over to first. Big out. Big out. Beautiful play by Scott Tye. Brings up Glenn Marandino. And the new first baseman for the Profs is Mark McCarthy. Made a fine stretch on that play. So you can score that one 6-3. And it's the first out here of the 13th. Glenn Marandino, and he is I believe he is 2 for 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 3 for 5 on 5 times at bat, I believe. Let's see, he has 1 single, 2 walks, fly to second, and reach base on an error. 1 out here. Aaron from the windup. His first pitch to him. Curveball for a called strike. 1 strike to Glenn Marandino.
Come on now, come on. Right man, right spot. Come on, go.
Aaron again from the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball popped into short left field. Coming in is Mike York, going out is Scott Tye. Mike York calls and makes the play. Fine play on the run made by Michael York. The smart thing to do. That's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up to the plate Bruce Dostell. Bruce Dostell, okay, I'm sorry. Bruce Dostell in. He's number 6 center fielder. And in the first inning, he made it all the way around on a base on balls. He flew out in the second inning, base on balls in the 4th, and grounded out in the 7th. And he had a single in the 9th and a single in the 11th with an RBI, tying this ball game. Here's the next delivery by Aaron. Ground ball, nice play, just missing it is Bianculli diving for it. It's going to be a base hit single for Bruce Dostell. So Dostell's on base with 2 outs on the single, and that'll bring up to the plate. I believe it's going to be Al Lopez here. No, we have number 12, which is Al Lopez. Al Lopez. Excuse me. Al Lopez does make it back in there. Let's see, Lopez has batted twice, struck out in the 9th, and singled in the 11th. 1 for 2 on the day. 2 outs here in the 13th, all tied at 7. On deck, Mike Milmone for the Pioneers. Here's the stretch by Aaron. Back to first. Runner dives in safely. Okay, everybody tell him to dive back. Aaron on the mound. He's been out there since the 7th. Or excuse me, the 8th. The stretch by Aaron. The pitch. Runner going. Fastball, ball outside. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Bruce Dostell. Dostell steals a base. And there's a 1-ball count to Al Lopez. Here with 2 outs in the 13th inning. Very long game here. We're under the impression that we believe this is the first extra inning game for the Profs this year. That has not been verified yet. I believe that is correct also, and I'm trying to verify that. Here's the 1-ball pitch from Aaron. Fastball swung on a miss, strike 1, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Al Lopez. Top of the 13th inning, tied at 7. Both teams leading their each respective divisions. Glassboro leading their South-Southern division. William Patterson leading the North. Here's the stretch by Aaron, the 1-1 pitch. Oh, fastball just missing inside, 1-1. That would make it 2-1 now. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know about that one. That looked awfully good. 2 balls and 1 strike to Lopez. Here's the stretch by Aaron. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball popped up, short right field. McCarthy going out, calling it is Keith Lee, the right fielder. Lee makes the play in foul ground. For the third out of the inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 13th with William Patterson 7 and Glassboro 7.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb with Tad Kosneski. You're listening to the voice of Gloucester County, WGLS FM Glassboro, 4 p.m. in Glassboro.
The first pitch to Chikatilo. Chikatilo batting outside, ball 1. Once again, bottom of the 13th inning. Chikatilo thus far on the day has 1 single and 3 walks. Next pitch, ball inside, ball 2. Bottom of the 13th inning, tied at 7. Still on the mound, Ron Aaron. The pitch. Fastball missing outside, ball 3. 3-0 to leadoff batter Al Chikatilo. On deck is Mark McCarthy.
This game's gone 3 hours, 45 minutes.
The pitch. Ball 4 inside the box. That'll lead off base runner and Al Chikatilo. That'll bring to the plate Mark McCarthy.
Mark McCarthy has had 6 hits, 4 RBIs, a .214 average, and 1 home run this year.
And McCaffrey comes in to run again for Al Chikatilo, who walks. So McCaffrey, if he should score, would need the win for the Profs. Mark McCarthy up to the plate, getting talked to by the coach, Mike Briglia. First of 2 here, believe it or not, from Prof Field. We will be bringing you the second game here today. What a game this has been today. 2 great teams just slugging it out. Looking for a bunt here as McCarthy steps in. Will he sacrifice? There's a late sacrifice, fouled and missed by McCarthy. 1 strike to him. Mark McCarthy in
for Darren Comegys, first baseman. Darren Comegys had an amazing first half of this game. RBI in the first inning, a 3-run single in the...
Chikatilo with his
5th.
lead. The bunt is down, fielded by Aaron. Looks at second, goes to first, makes the easy out. McCarthy's out. The sacrifice is good. Chikatilo moves to second.
And that brings up to bat, I believe this is Keith Lee. Yes,
Keith
number
Lee.
33 center fielder. And Keith Lee has
no hits today. He struck out twice, flied to left, sacrificed in the 11th, a big sacrifice, and grounded out to second base.
Twice.
Okay, we have 1 down on the sacrifice. Keith Lee trying to make himself a hero as he steps out with the man on second base and nobody out. Time is called, and they're going to send Lee on to first base on the intentional walk. No pitches need to be thrown. First prize, second, and that will bring to plate Frank Scaramuzzo once again with a chance to do something for the Profs. He came up in, the 11th inning and had a chance to do something but struck out for the second out of the inning. Once again, he's up with 1 out.
He's been taking big swings and not connecting.
Okay, with 1 out, it's Scaramuzzo to the plate. 1 out, 13th inning, tied at 7. First and second, the stretch by Aaron. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Scaramuzzo cannot hit the curveball today. 1 strike to him. 1 strike to Scaramuzzo. On second base with the lead run and the winning run is Al Chikatilo. The stretch, the pitch. Fouled back to the screen on the curve. Got a piece of it. It's 0-2 to Frank Scaramuzzo. On deck, Brian Giampetti. Big game out here today. Once again, both teams in first place.
And the Profs could end the game today, right now, with 1 hit out of here. 1 run, and they have man on first and second.
Chicatello takes his lead off second. 0-2 to Scaramuzzo. Aaron gets his sign, the stretch, and the 0-2 pitch. Curveball fouled again back to the screen. Count remains at 0-2.
Now you're probably ringing.
No balls and 2 strikes to Frank Scaramuzzo.
Who is again taking big swings and not really connecting except for those little chintzy fouls.
Scaramuzzo has struck out twice today. We're in the 13th, tied at 7. Scaramuzzo steps in again. Chicatello with his lead off second base. He's the all-important winning run. The stretch by Aaron. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball, just missing outside. Ball 1. 1-2 to Frank Scaramuzzo. The excitement starts to build. Scaramuzzo steps back in. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Scaramuzzo goes down swinging for the 3rd time today.
And brings up Brian Giampetti, who is third baseman for the Props. And Brian Giampetti hasn't been all the way around either. He's had a couple of singles. He's flown out 3 times, and a couple of grounders to get on base.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 13th inning, tied at 7.
We're looking a 14th inning in the face. Isn't that amazing?
Both teams have had chances to win it, but nobody has done it yet. The winning run on second base is Chicatello. The pitch to Giampetti, fouled back to the screen. 1 strike to him. Chicatello reached base on a walk. Mark McCarthy sacrificed to the second. Keith Lee was intentionally walked. He's on first. Scaramuzzo then came up and struck out for the second out of the inning, and now we're up to Brian Giampetti. Ron Aaron looks in. The stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Pitch out on. Ball 1-1. I'm still a little confused there. The pitch out was on.
I think this home plate umpire has been making quite a few questionable calls. That will confuse anybody.
That's the one. It's 1-1 now to Giampetti. Here's a stretch by Aaron. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball blew foul down the right field line and out of play. Almost nails a few fans over there.
Quite a few fans to be nailed today. This place is packed.
1-1 the count to Brian Giampetti. Chicatello still on second base. He's the all-important winning run.
Giampetti steps back up the base, and our pitcher steps up to the mound.
All right, Aaron gets his side. Here's the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball check swing by Giampetti. 2 balls and 1 strike to him.
Scott Ty on deck for the Props, number 8.
He singled his last time up way back in that 12th inning.
Yes, well, with 2 outs now, if Giampetti doesn't get on base, then he won't have a chance to do it this inning. We'll have to wait another one.
Aaron once again with his sign. Here's the stretch of the 2-1 pitch. Ball 3, low in the dirt. 3-1, a walk here, loads the bases for Scott Ty. Lutner started it for the Props. Ron Aaron has been in ever since. If Aaron pitches next inning, he'll pitch as many innings as Lutner. The crowd on their feet, everybody cheering. 3-1 the count to Giampetti. Aaron stepped off the mound, doesn't like the noise.
That could be the best thing for the Props, nice and loud. It really annoyed Aaron earlier.
Here's the stretch by Aaron. The 3-1 pitch. Grounded foul down the first base line. The runners were going on the play. And
that makes it full.
Full and count. Now the runners definitely will be going now. Full count. First and second. 2 outs. Bottom of the 13th inning. Al Chicatello, the winning run, standing on second base. Giampetti to the plate. Full count to him. Ron Aaron, the pitcher, gets his sign. Here's the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball popped in the infield. Short left field. Brian going back as shortstop Glenn Marrano, and he catches it. And we're going to the 14th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Heading to the top of the 14th, all tied at 7.
Back at Prof Field with Tad Kosneski. An amazing ball game. We're at the top of the 14th inning. The score tied 7-up. And this is just an amazing game with Mike Milmo stepping up to the plate now. Mike Milmo has had a fairly good game. He made it all the way around the first inning on a base on balls, flew out in the 3rd. He made a single in the 5th, flew out in the 7th and the 9th, and he went down swinging in the 11th inning, nothing in the 12th, and he is up again now.
This has been the longest game for the Profs this year. We're at the top of the 14th inning.
Not only that, Tad, but it's also the longest game for the Pioneers, who have never even gone to extra innings.
So this is new to both of them right here.
And bring up the possibility that they might not even have the second game. It is just going on too long here. The teams are going to be worn out. Some of the fans are leaving. They are just getting too tired after all this.
I'm worn out myself, man.
The sun will do that to you.
What a ball game. The first pitch from Aaron, low and inside, but the ball 1. Mike Milmo.
Think of it positively, getting a nice tan.
A great game. I'm glad to be here. The pitch by Aaron. Curveball, base hit, left field. Jeff Kurtz leads off. So what inning are we in? The 14th inning with a single to left field.
Loose count after a while. And the next man up is number 11, Jeff Kurtz.
Jeff Kurtz up for William Patterson. Runner on first base. I guess we're going to see a bunt here again and sacrifice the try. We'll see if Kurtz can put it around. Thad Brigley is coming out to the mound, and he is signaling to the bullpen. We have a pitching change here in the top of the 14th. Runner on first base. We're tied at 7, and we shall return with more Prof Baseball right after this. Neil Horahan is the pinch pitcher here for the Profs here in the 14th inning. Neil is 1-1. He's saved 1. He has 1 shutout. He's appeared in 8 games. He's pitched 30 1/3 innings, given up 19 runs, 18 of them earned, an ERA of 5.34. He's given up 23 hits. He's given up 4 home runs, had 28 walks, and 26 strikeouts. He fires the ball. So he's in relief for Ron Aaron, who pitched a fine ball game, just giving up 1 run. And the entire 4 or 5 innings, the entire 5 innings that he was in there.
Right. He certainly is firing the balls. He takes his practice pitches. And William Patterson is waiting patiently. You know, you remember, for William Patterson, we have Jeff Kurtz coming up. And Jeff, he hit a 3-run double in the first inning. He grounded in the 3rd inning and flew out in the 5th inning. Single that translated right into a run in the 8th inning. He grounded in the 9th inning, and I believe in the 11th inning as well. So Jeff Kurtz coming up to bat here in Prof Field. I'm Alan Clapp along with Tad Kosneski, and it's been such a long day. I'm getting a little bit of sunstroke here.
All right, you're going to have to look for the sacrifice bunt here. We're all tied here, top of the 14th inning. Kurtz going to be bunting. On deck, Frank Barker. On the mound, Neil Horahan, relief pitcher for the Profs. He stretches. Here's the pitch. Fastball fired for a strike. Oh boy.
Nice way to start off.
1 strike to Frank Barker, who doesn't know what hit him. Horahan, that's the hardest pitch we've seen today. Kurtz, Horahan throws the hardest. The pitch fouled on back on the fastball. 2 strikes. Milmo on first. He singled. Kurtz is the second batter. There's 2 strikes to him with Neil Horahan on the mound.
The Profs got a real problem here. Barker coming up afterwards. Now, he hit a home run in the 8th inning. That tied up the game with 2 runs. The Profs are worried because these are 2 strong hitters on the William Patterson lineup.
Throwback, Milmo back in time at first base. 2 strikes to Jeff Kurtz. 14th inning. The stretch by Horahan. The pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. We have one out here in the 14th. Horahan doing his job. 1 strike, 1 out to him. And that'll bring to the plate Frank Barker. Barker has grounded to second, struck out, hit into a double play, homered in the 8th, grounded to short, and reached base on an error in the 12th.
Comes back up in the 14th inning with the score tied. And if they make another run here, the Props still get the last chance in the bottom of the 14th.
Milmo on first, takes his lead, throw back in safely. Neil Horahan in relief of Ron Aaron, in relief of Jeff Lutner, the starting pitcher. Here's the stretch by Horahan. The pitch, runner going, fastball swung and a miss, throw to second. Runner in safely with the stolen bases, Mike Milmo.
Very close. I thought that was an out myself. The ball was there, and the man was there. I suppose from this angle I just couldn't see. Maybe he didn't tag the base. So there's a man on second base as Frank Barber, with that big 2-run homer back in the 8th inning, comes up. He's the man who tied up the game and got us into this roll of extra innings.
All right, Horahan steps off the mound, ties his shoe, steps back on the mound. He's ready. Throwing on second base is Mike Milmo. He singled and stalled. 14th inning, tied at 7. The stretch by Horahan. The pitch. Fastball high and inside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Frank Barker. Neil Horahan once again in relief here in the 14th inning. Stretches. Looks at second. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Nice block by Malone at the plate as it bounced in front of him. 2-1. You might even think about walking him here to put the runner on first base and possibly set up a double play. But they feel they can get him out. They're electing to pitch to him, even though he did hit that home run way back in the 4th inning. 10 innings ago.
Can't often talk about anything 10 innings ago in baseball.
That is correct. The stretch by Horahan, the 2-1 pitch. Curveball lace foul down the left field line. It's 2-2 the count to Frank Barker. And the left fielder for the Props, Mike York, has to go and retrieve that ball. Throws it back into Brian Giampetti, the third baseman, and the ball manages to make its way back to Neil Horahan.
I'll tell you, the Props are looking a little bit tired out there. It's been a very long game, and some of them are a little bit hanging their heads. They're not putting everything into their throws.
Here's a stretch by Horahan. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball missing low in the dirt. 3-2 the count to Frank Barker.
That one burnt.
He is firing that pill out there. Putting everything he's got into this pitch. 3-2. Man at second base. We have one out here in the 14th. The stretch by Horahan. The 3-2 pitch. Grounded to shortstop. Scott tied gloves. Throws to first low. Nice stretch and out. Mark McCarthy, a fine stretch and a low throw. We have 2 outs in the inning, and Mike Milmo advances on to third base.
That was a choice. He could have gotten the man out at third base there. I believe he might have hit the runner, though, on the way over there. That was right in his way.
And that will bring to the plate number 31, which is Tom Younghands. He batted for the first time way back in the 12th, and he sacrificed. Tom Younghands in here in the top of the 14th. We're tied at 7. Runner on third base is Mike Milmo, who singled, stole, and advanced on the fielder's choice. The stretch by Horahan, the pitch. Fastball missing outside for a ball. 1-0.
Possibly the winning run, just 90 feet away for the Pioneers.
But don't forget the Props do get that second chance, as they are the home team.
Definitely an important home team advantage today.
Horahan looks in. He's stretching with Milmo on third. Here's the stretch and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball missing outside for ball. It's 2-0. On deck is catcher Carmine Romano. Carmine is 1 for 6 on the day, so maybe he's just pitching around youngins right now. Here's the windup now, and the 2-0 pitch. Check swing outside, 3-0. 3-0 to Young Hands. I'm sure he'll be taken here. Overhand now from the windup again. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle, called strike, 3-1.
It makes 3-2 now.
I have 3-1. 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 here to Tom Younghans. The windup by Horahan, the 3-1 pitch. Fastball lined into center field. Scaramuzzo on his horse, makes the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on third base. We go to the bottom of the 14th inning, all tied at 7.
And we're back at Prof Field. Alan Cobb along with Tad Kosneski as the Profs get up to base again in the bottom of the 14th inning. There has not been a run in this game since the 11th inning. We're looking for something right now. The Profs have their chance here, the last licks as it were. And if they don't get a run, it goes to the 15th inning. And we're about to spend all day here.
Scott Ty leads it off for the Profs here, trying to get something started. He singled back in the 12th, and he singled in the 10th. The first pitch to him, fastball popped foul, back it out of play. 1 strike, the leadoff batter in the 14th, Scott Ty. Very close ball game here today from Prof Field. Battle of the first place. Here's George Sticks on the mound, his windup in the pitch. Bunted on, right back to the pitcher. Sticks fields, bare hands, throws, ties on again with another bunt single. Scott Ty with his 2nd straight bunt single.
Bringing up Joe Bologna. Joe Bologna had 2 sacrifices so far in today's game. Both of them excellent plays, excellent sacrifices. He's coming in again. He's the Prof catcher. Now he's talking to the Prof coach, getting some instructions here, but it looks like he's the one at bat. And this game is amazing, I must say. This is about the biggest college game I have seen in years, ever. As Joe Bologna steps up to the plate.
Once again, he's batted twice in this game, sacrificed twice. Looks like he's going to make it a 3rd time. The 3rd baseman, Frank Barker's in. He's charging. The bunted sign is there. He goes back, swings it, lines it to Barker. Barker to 2nd for 1, back to 1st. Double play. And, the first baseman got spiked. He had his foot on the bag, and he was stepped on. Jeff Kurtz. There was a double play. 2 outs. But he got spiked on the play, and that hurts. I can vouch for that. That's happened to me.
Brings up Fred Bianculli.
Well, we have everybody's like out on the field. The trainer's out again. Double play. It was, I guess you could say it was a wise move. It was, if anywhere else, he hit it right at 3rd baseman Frank Barker. Anywhere else, and that's a single.
I agree with you there. It was close there, and that one, it was so close on the throw to first base, it could have been good there.
So scored 5-4-3 on the double play. The injured player down at first base is Jeff Kurtz. He got spiked pretty severely by Joe Bologna coming down at first base.
Doesn't look like he's coming back in. I'm not sure, but he's down on the ground, and the trainers are looking at his foot.
The whole back end of his right leg, the leg he had touching the bag, got spiked pretty meanly. The trainer's out there right now. And we have 2 quick outs here as Bianculli's on deck. Still waiting to see how Jeff Kurtz is going to take this here. We may have to have the substitution for him. Big play, though, for William Patterson.
Looks pretty likely. The coach of the William Patterson Pioneers was taking a little walk with the umpire.
And looks like he's all right. He's going to stay in the game. Jeff Kurtz, tough ball player, is going to stay in the game. That takes a lot of guts after taking a spike like that.
Okay, brings up Fred Bianculli, number 1 for the Profs, top of the lineup, and he, oh boy. Okay.
Singled in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, walked in the 5th, sacrificed in the 6th, grounded out to short in the 8th, walked in the 10th, and walked in the 12th.
And he has had an excellent day today. And we're looking for another base hit from him.
So we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 14th inning. Bianculli up to the plate. I believe he does have one home run on the year. Here's the windup and the pitch to him. Grounded up the middle, could go through. Nice play made by second baseman Claude Petroselli. Throws not in time. Bianculli makes it on to first base. He singles. Nice play though. Diving was Claude Petroselli. Got up through, but not quite in time. And that brings to the plate Michael York.
That surprises me. That looked like, I thought that was the third out because we just had a double play and there's no one left on base, but it is not third out.
All right, so the runner on first is Bianculli. York to the plate. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Pitch out, looking for something to happen, but nothing was on. 1 ball, no strikes to Michael York, who's been chasing the curveball of George Sticks ever since he's been in the game. York, a dangerous batter. Bottom of the 14th, the stretch and the pitch. Runner going. Call strike. Throw down. Runner safe as the ball is bobbled. To credit a stolen base to Fred Bianculli. Runner in scoring position. Fred Bianculli at second base. The batter is Michael York. York is having a tough game. He does not have a hit today. He has struck out twice. Wouldn't it be nice for him to get a hit here? That would make his day.
On deck is not Al Chicatello, but looks like McCaffrey or... Yes, McCaffrey.
Yeah, 1-1 the count. McCaffrey is due up the bat next. The pitch, ground ball to shortstop. He bobbles it, knocks it down, there'll be no play. That'll be an error on the shortstop there. He kept it in front of him. It was a tough bounce. Hit him in the chest, kept it in front of him, but he was wise in not to throw it over to first base. So the error goes to Glenn Merendino, the shortstop. Puts runner Fred Bianculli at third. Michael York is at first. We have 2 outs here in the 14th. And who are we going to see batting here?
I believe it is McCaffrey. It's supposed to be Al Chicatello, and it is not.
Lance McCaffrey batting for Al Chicatello.
Okay, Lance McCaffrey is... Okay, he has 1 hit, no RBIs, a .500 average, no homers this year.
All right, runners at first and third, 2 outs, bottom of the 14th, a hit wins the game. Bunt try, pulled back, runner stealing, no throw. York steals second base, second and third, 2 outs. McCaffrey on the plate. 1 strike to Lance McCaffrey. A hit here wins the ball game. 1 ball, no strikes to Lance McCaffrey. George Sticks gets his sign from the stretch. The pitch. Swung on, grounded in the hole. Could be the ball game. Fielded by the shortstop. Ball thrown outside. The Prof wins it on a base hit by Lance McCaffrey, a pinch hitter. The Profs win it 8-7 in the bottom of the 14th inning. The winning pitcher will be Neil Horahan. The losing pitcher will be George Sticks. And what can you say about Lance McCaffrey? The pinch hit single.
And that was amazing. I didn't expect to have him in there. Al Chicatello's up. McCaffrey comes in. Beautiful hit right down just between the shortstop and third baseman, and it wasn't in time. That was just an amazing play to end an amazing game.
So once again, the final score, the Profs win it 8-7. We'll be back to trying to recap all this mess and everything that's gone on.
A lot to recap.
Possibly bring you a second game. We're not sure. We'll give you word if there's going to be a second game or not. We'll be back as soon as we can get everything together.
And we're going to wrap this up. Alan Cobb here, and I'm with all of the Prof Baseball broadcast staff here as we get ready for, definitely there is a second game coming on the field. It's an amazing win here at Prof Field, and this brings the Profs up to a 7-1 record in the New Jersey South in the conference, and that means a definite lead in the conference over Trenton State, who they're going to play on Monday. And, Tad, what is your idea of this game? What do you think was the key for this game for the Profs?
The Profs just outdid them. They stayed in there longer. Yeah, well, both teams were very even. They fought tough. They stayed together, and they hung in there in the bottom of the 14th inning, and they did win the ball game.
Yes.
And once again, there is a second game coming up.
Yes, there is a second game coming up, and that game is going to be Matt Santos doing the play-by-play action, and our own sports director, Scott Rokosny is going to be doing the color commentary for this next game.
All right, for Alan Cobb, I'm Tad Kozaneski, awaiting the second game. Once again, the final score in 14 innings. The Glassboro State Profs 8, the William Patterson Pioneers 7. The winning pitcher was Neil Horahan, he's 2-1. The losing pitcher was George Sticks, he's 4-2. And a game-winning RBI for Lance McCaffrey. Once again, stay tuned for the second game on the Profs Baseball Network.